for, such as health care assurances around the Affordable Care Act, yeah, we'll make sure that that holds. We don't have any assurances.
Hi.
Hi.
That is some Jasmine Crockett
Yep.
that I also like into my veins directly on a daily basis. It is 6 minutes after the hour on the Stephanie Miller Show. I'm Jody Hamilton sitting in with Chris Lavoie, Bella with the Z. Today we have the Carl Frisch.
Yep.
My old and dear friend Dan Pasternak, who is on tour with Ryan Reynolds and Chris Candy, moderating the panels for John Candy, I Like Me. It's a documentary that drops next Friday on Amazon Prime, but they're on the road right now. They're going to be here in Los Angeles.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, it looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They're going to be here in Los Angeles tonight at the Montalban, so there's a few tickets left, so feel free to go get it. Go to johncandy.com. You can get it there.
I've been to the Montalban. I saw the Empire Strips Back there.
That looks fun.
It was a Star Wars themed burlesque show.
I should have gone to that. Did Mark Hamill show up? Do we know?
No, Mark Hamill didn't show up, but they had Darth Vader swinging back and forth on a Death Star to the song Wrecking Ball.
Oh, my God.
And like stripping to it.
That's funny.
It was very funny.
That sounds funny.
Yeah.
We also have the lovely and talented Dana Goldberg on in the third hour. So, okay, you just gave me some breaking news. In England.
Yeah.
2 people have been killed after a suspect rammed a car into pedestrians outside a synagogue in Manchester, England. Heaton Park Hebrew Congregation Synagogue, that's a lot of words, in Crumpsall is where it was hit. And today's Yom Kippur, so
It is.
everybody that is Jewish, my friend Dan, who will be very hungry today when he comes on the show.
Well, that's the reason we don't have Dr. Redlander today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Dan said, I'm a bad Jew, but I'm doing that. So he's not that bad. But Manchester police confirmed 2 people were killed and a suspect was shot by police, which is rare in England for anybody to get shot because they really, only cops have guns as far as I know, and they didn't have them for years. A video posted on social media said police were surrounding the suspect, warning onlookers to get back because the man had a bomb. And Keir Starmer said, I'm appalled by the attack at the synagogue. The fact that this has taken place on Yom Kippur, the holiest day in the Jewish calendar, makes it all the more horrific. And I'm with him. So, and there were some stabbings after he rammed the truck into the synagogue. So, I'm glad he didn't have a gun. I'll give him that. I'm sure a lot more people would have been injured had it been here. Love or hate England, but that is why no more people were hurt, and I'm very upset that 2 people so far have been killed. So that's awful news, and love and light to the victims and their families. Back to our shutdown. This is fun. HUD. This is illegal sounding to me. HUD posted radical left in Congress is now being blamed on HUD's website for the shutdown.
Uh-oh.
That doesn't sound legal to me.
No.
The Department of Housing and Urban Development emblazoned with a bright red banner, and I went there. It said radical left in Congress for the government shutdown, and we'll use. According to journalist Marissa Cabas Cabas, I'm not sure.
Okay.
The HUD website, website displayed a similar banner messaging before the shutdown was final on Tuesday, warning the radical left would inflict massive pain on the American people if their demands were not met. This doesn't seem right. This seem Hatch Act violations.
Yeah, it does. And AOC brought that up last night.
She did.
Yeah, they may be looking into that sort of. Robert Garcia, I believe, sent out a press release about it this morning.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. This is just. Yeah, here's another one. The government shut down because Chuck Schumer is this is this is J.D. Vance saying that the government is shut down because Chuck Schumer is terrified about a primary challenge by AOC. I don't think it's just that. It might be a part of it, but he got pressure from the country and understood that this was like we've been saying yesterday and we're continuing to say, is it's not all about the ACA kids. It's partly about that, but it's about the Republicans welshing on their deals, saying, yes, I'll agree to this, and then saying, no, I won't. So that's what this is about more than anything else. We cannot trust them to negotiate in good faith. And even if we thought that, and we negotiated in March, Chuck Schumer did in March, and what did they do? They pulled money away.
They reneged on their deal.
And so it's not about Chuck Schumer wanting to, hold his seat so much as he's realizing finally, thank you, that, people were like, dude, don't even. Oh, and then.
But Trump indicated this morning that he's going to use the shutdown as an opportunity to axe Democratic agencies.
Yes.
So.
Oh, no, I saw that this morning.
Yeah. The Washington Post wrote yesterday that Trump set a trap and Democrats walked into it.
I don't think so. They were going to do it anyway.
They were going to do it anyway, but now,
They were going to do it anyway, so you negotiate.
But now he's going to get rid of agencies that.
He was going to do it anyway. It's like the press is trying to play into what Donald wants because they do, because they are terrified of him. We have a story about that. But again, furloughed employees at HHS were told to send an out-of-office message blaming Democrats for the situation. Here is the following language that the directions said. Thank you for contacting me on September 19th, 2025. The House of Representatives passed H.R. 5371, a clean, continuing resolution. Unfortunately, Democratic senators are blocking its passage in the Senate, which has led to a lapse in appropriations. Due to this lapse, I'm currently in furlough status and unable to respond to emails. I will reply once government operations resume. This is a clear violation of the law. You cannot politicize these agencies. I mean...
Who's going to hold each one of these people accountable?
This is why in 26 we need to elect people that will hold these people accountable, because this is a clear violation of the law.
But nobody's going to be held accountable for this.
Not this year.
Not a single person.
Not this year. I say run on it. Say we're going to hold people accountable because that's a clear violation. The silence of the generals on Tuesday showed you that there is resistance to Donald and Hegseth, which gives me hope that at least the military gets it. And that was my fear, was the military wouldn't get it. And I think they're getting it. Because he's going to, there's a precursor to him, stopping the election in 28 using the military. And I don't think they're going to do it. Looking at those generals' faces, some might support him, but most, I don't think, support what he wants to do. Because these guys take an oath to the Constitution. They've been around. They've been doing this since before the lovely Bella was born.
Yeah.
So, it's just, this is frightening that they sent this out to say that you have to, as an employee. I wouldn't do that.
Oh, plenty of people would, though.
I wouldn't.
And nobody's gonna hold them accountable.
It's just, and it's Donald's shutdown. As he has said on multiple occasions, that it's the president responsible for any and all shutdowns. 2013, Seth Meyers did a whole breakdown of that last night, apparently, on Donald Trump saying it's the fault of the president if there's a shutdown. So can we just agree with Donald on that one time? Here it is. Here's what you're talking about. President Trump is going to use an opportunity not to tell people who furloughed in a few days. This is Cruz. He said, we'll make Democrats scream and weep by firing left-wing bureaucrats.
And they will.
What's going to do is cause Democrats in Congress to scream and weep and gnash their teeth. I cannot wait for the next Democrat lunch.
All they want is to make the Democrats mad.
Then don't let them make you mad.
They're trolling. They're trolling Democrats here, and Democrats are falling into it. Like I said yesterday, Hakeem Jeffries fell into that trolling trap yesterday. He got mad, and it just encouraged them to do even more today. I'm sick of the weak sauce replies to what the Republicans are doing. I'm just really sick of it. We need better messaging.
Gavin Newsom's doing it.
Gavin Newsom is the only person who's doing it well. He trolled against everybody in the Republican Party yesterday very effectively. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the weak response by Hakeem Jeffries.
Yeah, Hakeem Jeffries in general has just been boring me recently.
Yes,
to the
absolutely.
Point where I'm just like, I don't want to listen to anything you have to say anymore, because all you do is you do these interviews on MSNBC and you're just sitting there
saying how unfair the Republicans are and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
It's like,
but you're not doing anything
exactly.
about it.
Pelosi would have gotten something done.
As a minority leader?
Yes, absolutely. She got a whole lot of stuff done as minority leader.
Well, she stopped a lot of stuff.
Yes.
She did.
That is doing something.
I think for Hakeem Jeffries, too, it just kind of, it all, like, aside from the logistics of what he can and cannot do in his position, how he presents himself is significantly, like,
a victim. He's coming across as a victim and portraying the entire Democratic Party as victims of what the Republican Party is doing. I'm sick of that.
Part of me wishes that, at least with the whole AI thing, he should have just, maybe not even acknowledged it, or just
ignored
been like,
it.
you know what, like, okay, if that's his MO, that's his MO. Move on. Let's move on.
Exactly.
He gave it too much attention.
But to say it's racist what they did. No crap.
Yeah, no kidding.
Everybody knows it's racist.
Yeah.
You don't need to point it out again and again and again.
Yeah. It's like we know this is the behavior that's going to be exhibited by
Stop being
Trump.
Surprised by what Trump does.
Yeah.
Do we have a thing?
Yeah, I just.
Oh, yes, you just handed it to me. I have so many things here.
It is a big pile today.
Well, I'm trying to just spread things out so that I can figure out what is happening on the planet.
I know.
I have over there, over here, over there. It's everywhere. I just kind of throw up paper when I'm here. And on that note, it is 18 minutes after the hour.
Hey, no.
There is going to be, I think that young people are going to just have such a backlash of intelligence and decency against this ugly last vestige of the 20th century white supremacy that has just infested our 21st century. That's what this is. When you kill the monster and then you relax and then the monster rises one last time. And that's what Donald Trump's presidency has been, right? The monster of white supremacy, the ugliest parts of American ignorance in the 20th century, coming back for one last terror before it finally goes away. In 20 years, you're not going to be able to get away with beating up on trans people the way you can now. Like with gay people, it's so much harder now because every generation is getting more moral and more disgusted at this regressive conservative prejudice where they only do it to get low wattage white people to vote to cut the taxes of guys like Elon Musk. That's the whole scam. The backlash of intelligence and decency from young people against this is going to be beautiful. I can't wait to grow old watching it.
I think there's two things that are happening at once, and this is something that's very important for people to understand. One, there absolutely is an unprecedented abuse of power, destruction of norms, erosion of our government and our democracy in order to prop up an authoritarian style of governance. That is happening. However, they are weaker than they look. And it is important that we remember that, because what they rely on is the impression of power, the perception of inevitability, in us giving up in advance to say, oh, what's going to happen if I stand up, etc. Nothing's going to happen. They rely on that perception of inevitability and power so that people comply in advance and acquiesce in advance and give up in advance. And so we have to understand that standing up matters, that our voice matters, to not give in to the cynicism, because that is what they rely on in order to perpetuate this idea that they are that they have total immunity from consequence. They will experience the consequences of this, but we have to be the consequence, which is why we have to stand tall right now alongside everyday Americans who want us to be standing up right now as well.
If you're a homeowner in America, you need to listen to this. The FBI has been warning about a type of real estate fraud on the rise called title theft. Yikes. And your equity is the target. Here's how it works. Criminals can forge your signature on a single document, use a fake notary stamp, file it with the county, and just like that, on record, they own your home. Using your ownership, they can take out loans against your equity or even sell your property, and you won't even know about it until a foreclosure or a collection notice shows up in your mail. Yeah, that's why I have partnered with Home Title Lock, so you can protect your equity and find out today if you're already a victim. Go now to HometitleLock.com/Stephanie. You'll get a free title history report and a free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. That's 24/7 monitoring of all of your title records, urgent alerts to any changes, and if fraud occurs, their U.S.-based restoration team will spend up to $1 million to fix it. Don't be a victim. Protect your equity today. Go to HometitleLock.com/Stephanie. One more time, that's HometitleLock.com/Stephanie. After the hour here on the Stephanie Miller Show, I'm Jody Hamilton sitting in with Chris Lavoie and Stephanie with a Z, Bella with a Z, or Stella with a Z. We're just gonna go with all the names.
Sure.
Zelda, even.
Yeah.
Zelda.
There we go. Zelda actually has a Z.
I like Zelda.
Do you really want to be called Zelda?
She kept that up for like a month after you got here.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I didn't mind it. I'll respond to anything. It's also difficult because my government name is Isabella, but my nickname my entire life has been Bella.
Yeah.
So when I start new positions or I'm working on a new project, they have my name written down as Isabella. I told them my name is Bella, so then naturally they call me Isabel, which I don't know how that comes out.
All right.
But
yeah.
Somebody that worked for my parents, her name is Isabella.
Yeah.
But she had a very thick Spanish accent. And so we called her Chavella.
Chavella. Okay. As in like a Chevy Chevelle?
It was our whiteness that just screwed all that up.
Okay, got it.
I own it completely. And I finally realized, I'm like, your name is Isabella. She goes, I'm like, I'm so sorry all these years. And she's like, it's okay.
Yeah, I kind of just let them call me Isabel. I got called Isabel yesterday, and I was like, I'm not going to correct that.
Yeah. Whatever. Whatevs. Hey, Karen in Chicago. I'm so sorry about Loki.
Thank you. It was a rough day.
I
it
bet,
was a rough
honey.
day, but I'm relieved because he was really struggling, particularly the last few days. So you know how they say, when you know that it's time. And
exactly.
I knew that it was time, and it was a beautiful thing. We did it in our home, and it was great.
Absolutely.
But thank you so much.
Of course, honey.
I just want to say, I don't think that we can assume that everybody knows that it's racism. That what Trump is doing is racist. I think that it is important, particularly as white Americans, that we call it out every single time. I feel like when people, get their backs up when we call it out and they say, oh, you're just pulling the race card or whatever, it has a chilling effect, and then it stops us from having those very uncomfortable conversations.
True.
So I think it's always important to point it out that it is racist, because I don't think that we're that smart. I don't think that a lot of Americans really do recognize it as racism. And, it's the same people that sit there and say, like, oh, racism is dead, or because we elected Barack Obama, we've overcome racism. It's here. That. I mean, and I just think we can't stop calling it out, just because they're going to take it and, use it against us. We have to call this out all the time, every time.
Totally agree with you, Karen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. However, I don't think that's what at least when I was complaining about Hakeem Jeffries in the last segment, that is not what I meant.
Right.
He had every right to call it out. He had every right to talk about it. I just don't think the attitude and the way that he presented it was as effective as it could have been.
Mm-hmm. There was no fight in him.
There was no fight. And I also think it's like, okay, well, the people who should be called out and told, like, hey, this is racism, they're not going to listen to Hakeem Jeffries on
No, because he's
MSNBC.
not white.
No, they're not going to listen to him. So I do agree with Karen where it's our job as white people to call this out. But, at the end of the day, like, I don't think they're mutually exclusive. But.
And John Roberts did basically claim that racism was over when he started to gut the voting rights bill.
Okay.
He did, because if there was...
What does that have to do with this?
Well, you were like, no, people don't say that racism is over. Yes, the Supreme Court basically ruled that way when they started gutting the voting rights bill, because that was based on racism in the South in particular, and how you draw your maps and do all that stuff.
I think everybody for whom the audience was for this meme knew it was racist.
The MAGA people, it was for them. They don't think it's racist.
They
are
they
racist.
Know, yes,
yeah.
They know it's racist, and they know it upsets the Democrats, and so that's why
they just know it upsets the Democrats. They don't think it's racist. They think it's funny. In fact, there's a quote I
think a lot of people on the MAGA side are a lot more self-aware than we give them credit for.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
I used to work in that world.
Yeah.
I know what... yes. They are way more self-aware than you give them credit for.
It is entirely possible that some of them aren't aware, and those are the people that can be saved and can be, educated 100%. Right. But I think the majority of them are a lot more self-aware than we think they are.
Exactly.
So they will come out and say I'm racist, or they just know they're racist?
No, they won't say. They will say, yeah, that was racist, but it was also funny because it made the Democrats mad.
Oh, I don't think they admit that it's racist. I just think,
no.
I have
a
quote. It's funny. J.D. Vance didn't say I'm a racist. He didn't say it was racist. He just thought it was funny.
J.D. Vance is not going to say in public, I'm racist.
Well, he didn't say it was racist either. He didn't say it was racist. He did not say that. He just said it was funny. There's a difference. If he said, yeah, it's racist, but it's funny, then I would give you that.
In their circles, they know it's racist.
All right, we'll be right back with...
I have mixed emotions with the farmers who are whining now when they helped to bring this about, and certain groups of women who are whining about their reproductive rights being hurt, but they wouldn't listen before. Comey, while the intellectual part of me is like, this is absolutely outrage of what they're doing, the emotion part of me is like, but you helped, you did a big part in bringing about the apocalypse in this alternate timeline, so it's hard to feel sorry for them.
Yeah, but that's why you got to stand up for free speech for people whose speech you hate. Right. Which you got to give limited credit to the right wingers that did that for Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah. By the way, speaking of the farmers, Chris, Ron Filipowski sums it up beautifully. How the unbelievably blistering incompetence of this amendment. First of all, what is he tariffing now? Everything is going to cost us more: cars, medications,
upholstery.
Ron says, we are bailing out Argentina while Argentina's farmers sell soybeans to China in the place of American farmers, which is putting them out of business. So now we also have to bail out American farmers while Argentinian farmers make bank. That's Trump's America First golden age. This is America First? We have to bail out Argentina and our farmers because of his unbelievable incompetence and incoherence.
I wanted to talk to you both, Yahweh and Yesh, because I wrote a book, and it's about you guys, but it's really about some of your fans, the mean ones, the racist ones, the homophobe ones, the ones who don't like women. You guys come off really well in the book. Jesus, you come off really good in this book.
Yeah, I've heard that when people talk about the Bible, they tell me that God, you come off really well.
Said no one ever.
Jesus comes off really well. Yeah, no, God, you're very impressive, God. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but you there's some moments, Almighty, where you're kind of the alcoholic step God. You know what I'm saying? But Jesus, he's chill throughout. Like he's proof of evolution.
But John, people have been twisting my message, right? And that's what this book is about.
It really is, Jesus. I mean, I've gone through this book of yours many times. You never said anything against the gays. You never said anything against women having to be forced to be pregnant. I mean, you're not against abortion. You're against the death penalty, Jesus. I know that. You're like your dad in that you tell us to welcome the stranger.
Yeah. I mean, the right people are twisting my message left and right, and we can't take it anymore. So we're so excited to have this book, a really rock-solid resource to show people what the Bible actually says. And that's why we love you, John. You're spreading our true good word.
Simon & Schuster's Avid Reader Press presents Separation of Church and Hate, the bold, hilarious new book from John Fugelsang, available September 9th and on sale now at your local independent bookstore or your favorite non-evil website.
MSNBC is reporting tonight Trump's Department of Justice shut down an investigation into Thom Hartmann, according to multiple people familiar with the probe and internal documents reviewed by MSNBC. In an undercover operation last year, the FBI recorded Hartmann, now the White House border czar, accepting $50,000 in cash after indicating he would help agents who were posing as business executives win government contracts in a second Trump term. It's unclear what reasons FBI and DOJ officials gave for shutting down the probe, but a Trump DOJ appointee called the case a deep state probe earlier this year, and no further investigative steps were taken, sources say.
Use American cities as training grounds for the U.S. military, calling those people in the American cities the enemy within. I'm asking you, as Speaker of the House, do you think that's appropropriate?
I'm not going to comment on your characterization of what the president said. I didn't get to see that speech because I was a little busy yesterday.
Those are quotes, not characterization.
Absolutely.
Thank you, George Stephanopoulos. And by the way, ABC should have never bent the knee when he said the right thing about E. Jean Carroll. It is 34 minutes after the hour here on the Stephanie Miller Show. I'm Jody Hamilton sitting in for Ms. Miller, and look who we have right there. Carl.
Carl Frisch, let's talk to our fancy Fairfax County School Board friend, shall we? CarlFrisch.com.
Hello, Carl Frisch. Did you enjoy our banter about Hawaiian pizza?
Yeah, we talk about the weirdest things during the break.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's either talking about gross food or, something else.
Yeah, true.
I like pineapple with a little tahini on it. It's
yes! Oh, that sounds yummy.
Yeah, there's a little lady that sells pineapple with tahini on it right down at the end of the street here.
Yes, I know that.
That might be the first place that I ever had it.
Ah,
See,
yes.
there you go. How are you, sir, just before we get into this?
How are we all?
Good point. And how is the D.C. area, the war-torn area of Washington, D.C., that you can't walk anywhere unless there's National Guard or...
Yeah, the streets of Georgetown have never been safer with their multi-million-dollar houses.
Yeah.
No kidding. Well, Chris just sent me he normally sends me stuff, but he handed me 47% say Trump caused the shutdown and 30% blame the Dems. So I think that's good.
That's
what
from
do
your
you
Washington
think?
Post poll.
They obviously haven't gone to the HUD website yet.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people
Or
are
gotten
being...
an out-of-office reply from a federal worker.
Right. I mean, that to me that seems against the law to me. Your thoughts?
I think there are already some lawsuits to that end. You know, every day is just a lesson. And could you imagine if Democrats had done
Right.
this?
Yeah. Right.
You know, but they wouldn't.
Right. That's the problem,
You know,
I guess.
So it's unfathomable to a certain degree, but I've come to expect that every week there will be a new thing that nobody would have ever thought could have happened.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they have like a chat GPT engine in the administration where they're like, what horrible thing have we never done that we could do this week?
Right.
But they're certainly getting some kind of a help because they meet new levels every day.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a new thing, Sora 2 or something, that literally they're stealing copyright from Disney, Fox, and all this stuff, and then they have, like, Pikachu, whatever, Disney characters as Nazis. I mean, and nobody's bothered by this. This is a new AI thing. It's an app, apparently.
Yeah, there's all kinds of, I've read about, you know, the fake AI actress that is being put out by
Tori
agents
something
for
or other,
roles,
yeah.
and SAG-AFTRA had to put out a statement about what an actor is.
Mhm.
I guess restating reality is something that every industry is having to do.
Well, yeah, AI is, it can be good, it can be useful, but I think from this point forward, like we do with counterfeit money, we've got to figure out how to let everybody know. Like Gavin Newsom posted a brilliant AI attack on Donald and stuff, but he said AI. You know, he put up an asterisk that said, this is AI generated. So at least he's being honest about what he's doing, unlike Donald and others that are not being honest about it. And, okay, what do you think about that? I think this is bad for Mike Johnson. He's gloating over the opportunity to shut down. Says that Schumer handed Trump the keys to the kingdom. That doesn't seem like a good thing for a Republican to be espousing, does it to you?
Well, I feel like it is an attempt at reverse psychology, not done well. You know, I think they're trying to say like, oh, if Schumer had just made a deal, you know, okay.
As if they would, because we've been talking about it all week. I mean, yes, the ACA stuff, we need that to come back. At least the subsidies, there's more that needs to come back, but at least that part should not go away. And I get that, but what I've gathered is the main reason that the Democrats did not vote for the CR is because of rescissions that could be made, because last time that's what they did. So we've been saying, and Chris is rightfully arguing this fact, that Democrats should be going, yes, we want the ACA stuff, but the problem that we had was they were going to renege on the contract again. And I think that's simple for people to understand. Do you?
Well, it's certainly simple for certain Republican senators to understand. I mean, you know, there's been reporting about Senator Snowe in Maine, you know, having consternation behind the scenes about the work that she's done being flushed right down the toilet by the administration.
Right.
You know, trying to get the spending plans together, getting them passed by the Senate, only to have them completely undone by the administration. If the administration is able to do that, what's the point of having a Congress?
Exactly.
But there's the answer the Trump administration is looking for.
Exactly. They've just abdicated their role, much like the Supreme Court has been doing, and they come back to work next Monday. So we'll see what they decide.
I think the federal courts are able to subsist for a couple weeks, depending on how long the shutdown lasts.
Well, I believe that there is a story going around that people are trying to talk to Democrats about, especially the ACA stuff. But to me, it's the rescission stuff. If they're not going to agree to, they can't sign that into law, then what's the point? I mean, it's negotiating in bad faith.
Right. I mean, it's not negotiating.
Right.
It's all it's parlor tricks if it doesn't stick. It's sleight of hand. It's shorthand magic. And as much as I would like to see Trump confined to the Magic Castle, This is not what democracy is about. This is not what the system of checks and balances that the founders envisioned and put in the Constitution had in mind.
Exactly. And then apparently, this is hilarious to me, Republicans were warned not to vacation during the shutdown. And they literally said, don't go to Cancun, which is funny, because of who went there. But it's the fact that the Republicans are not even in D.C. right now. Democrats are there. They haven't left. They're still there. Hey, let's get back to work. And the fact that they didn't even seat Grijalva yet, which is just, to me, they can't delay the Epstein petition forever. I mean, the next Congress, obviously, it would be a different Congress, but they still have it until 27. So this petition can last forever. So I don't know why they're delaying seating her when she's going to sign it regardless.
Yeah, I think it's probably their attempt to, force negotiation of some kind, or to buy time to get Republicans to pull off their names. We know that the Trump administration is lobbying Republican members who've signed it to take their names away, or to oppose it. So, they will do whatever it takes to do his bidding, whatever it takes.
I don't like them. Have I said that lately? And Musk crony, Tesla investor James Fishback said, the shutdown is a win for Trump. Again, I don't think that's good for somebody to say that it's a win for a Republican, in air quotes, president, to be a win for him, because shutdowns are never a good idea.
No, well, they typically don't benefit Republicans politically. They're a bad idea for the American people.
Absolutely.
That's for sure.
Absolutely.
And, past attempts to ensure that these types of things don't happen have always been rebuffed by conservatives in Congress. So, we are here because the Trump administration continues to undermine the will of Congress. And if they would stop doing that, I think more Democrats would come to the table.
No, I 100%, because it's like, again, they're negotiating in bad faith, because again, it's no, if Donald and Russ Vought, who is just the worst human on the planet besides Donald, in my little lady opinion, can just say, hey, they're going to start firing people at the EPA, they're going to start firing people at the Bureau of Labor. They're going to start doing that just to troll, as Chris said, the Democrats. And it's like, really?
Well, and, that's really going to have a great impact on their chances for the November election here in Virginia. If you live in Northern Virginia or, probably quite a bit deep into Virginia, more than one somebody who has lost their job after decades of service to the federal government. In some cases, people who have lost the same job twice or three times.
Right.
In a matter of months.
Right.
Yeah.
They've been brought back and let go, and brought back and let go. And so this does not bode well for them, particularly in light of November's election here in Virginia, where a significant part of the workforce is made up of federal employees, scientists, law enforcement, investigators, all sorts of important critical jobs, disease specialists. When Virginia's economy relies on Northern Virginia's economy, it is not good for the prospects of anybody who is on that side of the issue.
Well, that's what I find, the word amusing is not the right word, interesting, that when Doge fires all these people, they get 7 months of severance, right? And then they're like, oh, we're going to rehire you. So they got 7 months of paid vacation, basically, and now they're rehired back to their job. That doesn't seem efficient to me, because wasn't it the Department of Government Efficiency?
I don't think anybody's ever accused the government of being efficient.
It can be when it's done right. This particular federal government is not being done right.
An entire conversation could be had about the role of auditor generals and inspectors generals in ensuring the efficiency of the federal government.
Yeah, sure.
And the waste that they police each and every year versus what Doge did and continues to do. Doge was not about efficiency. Doge was about removing federal employees to cripple federal agencies, and in many cases replacing career professionals and experts with basically children and partisan hacks.
Yeah. No, and that's why, you want to make government not work right? Do that. I mean,
get rid of people who know
what they're doing.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's like, and then, so we need to hire the people that know what they're doing back because this is a really big thing to try to run. I mean, yes, we have issues with, say, the DMV, but nowadays you can make appointments, which is lovely. I mean,
in some states.
In some states, it's like, we have issues with some bureaucratic agencies, but without them, you don't get your Social Security checks. You don't get your driver's license. There are certain things.
There's nobody to pick up the phone when you call about a Social Security problem.
Thank you. I mean, it's so. They really want to drown us in the bathtub as far as how to run a country, and it's just going to make it. Well, I mean, Russell Vought is one of the authors of Project 2025, and he's going down the list of the 900-page book.
Well, their ultimate goal is to hobble federal agencies from doing their work so that the work can be privatized under the guise of saving money and making the systems work, which is really under the guise of nickel and diming the American people into poverty, where every single thing we're paying a higher price for. There are localities around this country that have privatized various, most of city or county services, and the people who live in those counties are paying far more for those services than they did in taxes, and they're paying more for less,
right?
Than they paid in taxes previously.
Yeah, that's a big thing that I get from some people that I know that are hardcore Republicans. Some are MAGA. Like, I pay all this money and this isn't getting done. Well, do you really want it privatized? Because then you're still paying your taxes because you don't make enough money for the taxes to go down for you. You're still paying all these taxes, and then you have to pay for a toll road or the fire department or the police department, or trash collection or whatever it is that you normally, that was your taxes that were paying for that. And so I don't.
Yeah, they can go back to the era when the fire department served the homes that paid it directly, and if your neighbor didn't pay for it, well, good luck.
Yeah, and that seems frightening to me, because even if I did pay for it, that guy's house is burning, so that's not cool. I don't want my neighbor's house to burn down either. It's just, right. I don't get. It's like I was saying the other day to somebody on a thread. This person was complaining about stuff. I said, you know what? I don't have children, but I pay property taxes, and that pays for schools.
Right.
Should I complain about that? Because I don't. And I don't have, she was complaining about people going to an ER and having stuff getting done, illegals getting, health care due to that. I'm like, I'm fine with that. I don't want sick people running around. I'd rather them be able to get on the exchange, because they're not even allowed to buy on the exchange without subsidies, which is ridiculous to me. They can pay full price on the exchange, but they're not allowed to do it if they're not documented. And that seems crazy. I want people to be healthy because I live in a society. Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I often hear the argument about I don't use it, so I shouldn't have to pay for it. But, you use everything. Like, the infrastructure is everybody's infrastructure.
Right.
The roads, the bridges, the sidewalks, the power, the water, the air. These are the things that we pay for because we collectively need them. And whether you have a direct tie to it, you mentioned schools.
Mm-hmm.
You may not have kids in schools, but the quality of your local schools impacts all kinds of things.
Absolutely.
Workforce that's local, which brings jobs that you might one day get as well. I mean, there's all kinds of things that a strong public school system helps. And I would let people know, if you're a furloughed federal employee, there might be opportunities for you as a substitute school teacher at your local school division. And if you've got children and your income has changed, you might qualify for free and reduced meals now. So for your children, so reach out to your local school system and find out. There are ways to find help.
Well, that is lovely advice to give to people,
absolutely.
because you are a school board president, so you know these things.
Former, thankfully.
Former.
That's true.
It's true. It is former.
Just a member.
Yep.
Okay.
And doing incredible work while being just a member.
Thank you.
You're not just a member.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Carl. I know Stephanie will be happy to see you next Thursday.
Yep.
Awesome. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Thanks, Carl.
It is 49 minutes. Ali Velshi on the show.
Ali!
Mr. Velshi, thank you so much for being on today. How are
Ali.
you? Hello.
It is great to be back. Did Stephanie ban me or something? Does I have to wait for you to be here, Jody, to get me back on? I love being on the show.
We love having you, Ali.
We do too.
We want to have you on more often.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
So you're doing the MSNBC 25 live thingy. That's so cool. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. we did it last year, and we're doing it on October 11th in New York at the Hammerstein Ballroom. And we're inviting our people, like whoever you are. Our people are everybody, right? Anybody who wants to come and talk to the hosts that they enjoy and they watch, we're happy to just get a hug from you or some harsh criticism, because we may not be doing what people need right now. What everybody needs might be different today, right? Interpreting where we are in this mess and figuring out what your role is and what you want from us. So there's all of that we're doing, which we're really looking forward to. But I'll tell you, on a very personal level, I'm kind of just looking forward to the community, right? I'm looking forward to being amongst people who share the view that we're not in a great place right now, but that's okay. We've not been in great places at other times in our history,
right?
But we all have a role to play, and let's do it together. And if we can give each other the hugs and the support while we do it, that's okay.
I agree completely. I wish I could go.
Yeah.
It sounds like you guys got to bring it out here to LA one year.
Yeah.
I really hope that this is where this goes, right? Where obviously we're all gathered in New York, which is relatively easy because we're mostly in New York and DC. But what if we took sort of some parts about that and went around the country and talked to people? Because I think it's a good time for us to hear from people about what they need from us.
Right.
I think we know. But it's not. Social media's changed, right? Not everybody. A lot of our viewers are like regular people. They don't want to be in these ridiculous heated fights in social media all the time.
Right.
But maybe if they just tell us, "Hey, I could do more of this from you," or "You could really help us," or "I really loved when you do that." I think it's worth going around the country and listening to people tell us that.
I think that's a great idea.
Especially in red areas of the country. I think
Absolutely.
there's an appetite for, there are blue people in the red areas of the country, and there's an appetite to connect with, people that they see on TV all the time.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
And, because I go around, I've got this thing called Belshie Across America, where I go around and I talk to people from across the political spectrum. And even when you have debates with people who aren't in the same place that you are politically in the country, they don't want their debates to feel like the way it goes in social media and the heatedness of all the debates. It's not how normal people talk.
Right.
They'll argue, and they should argue, and we should all debate. We should argue with one another, but we don't have to do it this way. And I think that's also helpful, modeling to people what dialogue can actually look like, what debate can look like, without everything being a winner-take-all fight.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I love that.
I love that idea. I love that you do that. When you're back in LA, that would be great to do that too.
Yeah.
So your thoughts on the Hegseth Donald Trump rally yesterday?
Are we allowed to swear on the show? I mean,
no.
We're still encumbered by the FCC.
Put the Hegseth stuff away, because we can talk about that for a very long time.
Yeah.
But there are no surprises there, right? He's sort of an incompetent guy in a job he shouldn't be in. Right. Lecturing, he left the National Guard as a major, and he's lecturing generals and admirals about how to be strong and what to look like and BS like that. That said, the Trump stuff I thought was very alarming on two levels. One is he talked about the enemy within.
Yes.
Which is wild. And by the way, remember, and he said that, our city should be the training ground for our military. It's what happened in the civil rights movement, right? Preceding the civil rights movement, we had the military in America's cities working against American citizens. That was really bad. And there's nobody who thinks that should happen again, or at least no thinking people who like democracy who think that should happen again.
Right.
So I was deeply alarmed, not just that he said it, but that every Republican in this country and every conservative in this country was not up in arms by saying, that's not what we do. That's not how we do it. That's not what they use the military for. It's actually illegal, and that's anti-democratic. So I think that part alarmed me more. Nothing Hegseth does actually ever surprises me anymore. We knew he was a misogynist. We knew he was homophobic, and we knew he wasn't capable of doing the job that he's done. You had to see the faces of those generals and those admirals. They were like, everybody was trying very hard not to get caught on camera with a face they shouldn't have that's going to get them fired.
Stephanie Miller.
It is 55 minutes after the hour here on the Stephanie Miller Show. I'm Jody Hamilton sitting in with Chris Lavoie.
Hi.
And Bella with a Z.
Hey.
Not Stella with a Z.
Or Zelda.
Or Zelda
Or
with a
Isabel.
Z, which it actually has
Yeah.
a Z. So there is that. Ken in Arizona, hi. Ken.
Hello, how are you doing?
Hey,
We're
Ken.
well. How are you, sir?
I'm doing okay. I'm just kind of struggling to understand what you and Chris said about Hakeem Jeffries. And I know he's not a perfect person. And as an African American myself, when I saw that post with the hat
Mm-hmm.
and with Maxine Waters,
Mm-hmm.
it just kind of struck me as kind of a early African American man with a watermelon
Yeah.
picture.
Yep.
And this is something, I'm in my 50s, this is something that I've seen before me because I'm a student of history and I know African American history and American history. And it's happening all over again.
It
and
is.
it's just, you're just frustrated about it. So you want to call it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's not satisfying to you or Chris.
Not me.
But
No,
I'm
no,
not the
no,
one.
it wasn't
Wait a minute,
Jody.
wait a minute, wait a
It
minute,
wasn't
wait a minute,
Jody.
wait a minute.
Jody.
Let me finish.
It wasn't
Let
me. It
finish,
was
let me
Bella.
finish. Well, all right, Bella, I'm sorry. I know it's not satisfying, and I know what Hakeem Jeffries did, but it really hurt, and I think Chris did say about victim. He's not a victim. He's
I
calling
agree.
that out in anger. He's calling that out in anger because he's pissed,
Mm-hmm.
and he wants to do something that'll probably get him fired or put him jailed.
Mm-hmm.
And you can hear it in my voice.
Mm-hmm.
That's BS.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So when you have a president that puts something like that out,
Mm-hmm.
and when we don't have the whole community, don't call Hakeem Jeffrey a victim. Go at the person who put that hatred out and call them the victim. The
Amen.
victim.
Then why
of
didn't he
their
do that?
pussy fighting.
Why didn't he do that?
He
Like,
did.
No, he did
He
not.
did.
He did not. He
He
did. He didn't.
did.
He did not say that Trump was a victim.
He did. No, I'm saying in figuratively. Trump is the one that's acting like a victim. And
Okay,
he
then why
called
didn't
him
Hakeem
out for
Jeffries
what
say
he
that?
did.
If that's what you want Hakeem Jeffries to do, why didn't he say that?
Because Hakeem Jeffries, just like Barack Obama or any other black person that's at that level, you got to walk on eggshells.
Amen.
Because people are going to complain.
All right,
on
Ken,
you
we
on
got to
one
go. It's a
side or
hard break. I'm so sorry, sir, but I agree with you.
using the American people as pawns, threatening pain on the country as blackmail. Well, that's not going to work. The American people, it's so easy to see through those tactics. They know this is the Trump shutdown. They know Republicans control the presidency, the Senate, and the House. And what is done during a shutdown will fall squarely on the Republicans' back. Donald Trump even says it. He says he is going to close down all these things people want.
See, there you go. He's admitting to it. So I don't think that's good publicity for the Republicans, personally. Everybody's saying the Democrats did it, but then Donald is saying, no, I did it. So, you know. And GOP senators are upset. Chris just handed me this. Cub reporter Chris.
Some GOP senators.
Some GOP, not all of them, unfortunately. Some Republican senators have warned Donald that an aggressive shutdown strategy will squander the party's, now I love this, moral high ground. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Russell Vought, who is one of the architects of Project 2025, all by the way, has already frozen $18 billion in infrastructure money for New York and $8 billion in clean energy projects across 16 states. Most of us Democratic strongholds, because why give any? I don't get it. We live in it anyway. Senator Kevin Cramer, who never heard of, a Republican from North Dakota.
Yeah,
he's a member of the Senate Doge Caucus.
Okay,
by the way. Russ is less politically in tune than the president. We as Republicans have never had so much moral high ground on a government funding bill in our lives. I just don't see why we would squander it. How do you have that? Which is, I think, the risk of being aggressive with executive power in this moment. Susan Collins, we need a meter for her. She slammed the freezing of New York projects as totally unacceptable, warning that blocking work on the Hudson Tunnel, which obviously is very important, would have real consequences in the wake of recent storm damage. Thom Tillis also cautioned that targeting blue states can create a toxic environment here. You think?
What? Create a toxic environment? I think we have one.
Yeah. It started with Newt Gingrich, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse since then. They need to be careful with that. He continued, so hopefully they're working with the leader and the leader with them, and not creating more work to get us, and not creating more work to get us out of this. I'm sorry, but it's been toxic. Since I'm going with Newt Gingrich. He started the we'll do anything at any cost when he was the speaker. And he's speaking now, and it's like, dude, your name is Newt. Newt. You're just a Newt. But no, I mean, it's for him to say, oh, it's getting toxic? That's hilarious to me. Have you paid attention the last...
He works in D.C., for God's sakes.
It hasn't been congenial since the late 80s, early 90s, basically. I mean, it hasn't been. John Boehner used to work across... I mean, they all used to do that. They all used to hang out.
I blame Congressman Miller for leaving Congress.
I do. I believe...
Yes.
I believe Congressman...
It hasn't been congenial since then.
Since him and Goldwater. Yes. You're absolutely right. It's because of them. No.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, even when Goldwater was in the Senate, I moved to Arizona when he was a senator from Arizona. And he was a staunch conservative.
Absolutely.
But he had no problems talking to the other side and coming to some kind of agreement.
Of course. I mean, he was hardcore conservative at the time.
Right.
Nowadays, he would be called a rhino.
Yeah.
Well, because he was definitely pro-choice. He's more libertarian side, I would say.
Which is pretty much the state of Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why people are sometimes confused about the state of Arizona. There's a libertarian bent there that matches some parts of Democrat ideology and matches some part of Republican ideology.
No, my neighbor who voted for Donald, he was telling me what he likes and what he would like government to do, and I looked at him. I said, "You're not as conservative as you think you are, dude. You really aren't. You really aren't."
I've realized in the past couple of years that a lot of young Republican women are actually libertarian.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Because a lot of them who I went to school with would always say, well, I'm still pro-choice. I still think you should be able to do what you want. And I'm like, that is literally the definition of libertarianism.
Yeah, and
whatever.
And libertarianism sounds great on paper, but when you apply it to the real world, which has been tried quite a few times in like little towns across America, it
doesn't work.
Falls apart like crap thrown into a fan.
It doesn't work. It's just it doesn't work.
It
It doesn't. I mean, some of it, it's like Bill Maher, basically, he's a libertarian, a Republican who likes to smoke weed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a libertarian, as far as I'm concerned.
But libertarians don't like regulations, and it turns out you need some regulations.
Yeah. You think?
Yeah.
I'd like clean water, thank you.
Yeah.
Little things like that. I would like businesses not to run over things, and building codes are good,
Right.
so things don't fall down.
I'd like to set aside some land for national parks.
Yes, those kinds of
right,
things.
Exactly. Which is nothing that libertarians want.
I have friends that are like, "Well, regulation's bad." I said, "Really? Do you like clean water?
Yeah.
Do you like clean water?
Yeah.
Do you like the fact that
Do you want your medications to be free of poisons?
food free
Yeah.
of wood and
hot dog on a stick.
yeah, things like that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like regulation is not bad. It helps to you have a corporation, but you say, hey, you have to work within these boundaries in order to do well with society, because we all live in this. It's libertarian paradise doesn't exist.
No. It's been tried.
It has.
Where was I reading? In the Atlantic or something. This group of libertarians tried to take over this town. I think it was in New Hampshire. And, it was fine for like a year, but then the real world started to creep in, and they just couldn't keep it together.
Yeah, my sister was going to some party years ago, my older sister, and she was like, yeah, I'm going to it, and you can do whatever you want to anybody. I'm like, but what if I don't want somebody to do something to me? That's libertarian. You can do anything you want. So when my nose starts, whatever you want to do, if I'm not cool with that, you can't do that to me, kind of thing. And I'm like, don't go to that party. I said, please don't go to that party. It sounds like it's very rapey to me. It just did. It sounded super rapey to me. Ken in Phoenix, speaking of Arizona.
Hey.
Hi, Ken.
Hi, everybody. You guys are doing a great job while Mama's gone.
Thank you.
As a veteran, and I think my fellow veterans and military comrades will understand this, it wasn't the silence at the rally at the Quantico. It was the lack of military not standing up to give Trump his due respect. Not due respect, but protocol.
Right.
Normally, when a commander-in-chief especially walks into the room, everyone in uniform stands at attention.
Right.
Not a single general stood up.
That's
and if I can
absolutely
if I
keep
can also add, as I can also add, I think it's time for the blue states to start doing this soft secession by withholding federal funds.
If we could.
That they pay to the government. That'll bankrupt most of the red states in a hurry.
You're right that it would, but I mean, we all pay our taxes individually, and so if we sent, say, in California, if we sent our federal taxes to the governor's office and then he or she distributes it, then that's one thing, but we have to pay our own federal taxes.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So there's no way for us to hold back. I think there's a way for certain counties to maybe hold back some of it, but I pay my tax. I don't want to get arrested and I don't want to be audited. So unfortunately, even though California, New York, and other blue states tend to pay more into the coffers than get back, there is no legal way for us as a state to hold our money. I wish there were. I mean, if there were a way, trust me, New York, California, Massachusetts, and various other states would be like, oh, New York especially, oh, isn't that our $8 billion that you're holding back? Because we pay at least that much a year into the federal coffers. So to me, it's their money.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I agree with the sentiment. I just...
In reality...
It's not a thing.
Yeah.
We can't do that. And that's the problem with how we... Because, I pay taxes. Everybody does.
Yeah.
Whether it's pulled out of your paycheck or you pay at the, in April. Or quarterly like I do.
Yeah.
Because that's how my job... Oh! Hi, Dean. You got your COVID shot?
Hey.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I did. I got my I got my COVID shot just a couple of days ago. By the way, hi Zelda with a B. Hey girl.
Hey girl. That's funny.
Chris.
Hi.
Love the perfectly shaved cranium glistening in the foreground. And
Thank you.
Thanks for all the wonderful work you're doing there. Jody on the show, hold me down.
Yeah,
You're doing all of it.
Yeah, he's just here to sing the jingles.
I'm down with that.
I have to get all the jingles in because when I'm out there doing my emceeing work as Bryce Canyon.
Oh yeah,
it's been a little slow these days.
Well, I'm glad you got your COVID shot. So,
nevertheless, yes.
Did you have to pay for it or not?
I got my COVID shot.
Uh-huh.
No,
okay.
It was free.
Good.
I'd gone to the local Vons and I saw a sign that said, "Get your free COVID shot," and I thought, wait a second.
Yeah.
And then asked the pharmacy, "I'm allowed to get a COVID shot?" I mean, sure, depending on if you have certain coverage.
Right.
So what do you know? There's a list of like a dozen things. I could have just been a pincushion. Give me, hepatitis A, B,
all the
rubella,
shots.
mumps, measles, give it all. But yeah, I did get the flu shots. I'm a little bit kind of wonky, woozy at the moment.
Well, then
it does hit you. I haven't had a flu shot. I don't remember since the last millennium.
Okay, so it's been a minute.
I don't think Zelda would not even know what I'm talking about.
Well, I'm glad you got it, and you just have some chicken soup and some orange juice, and you feel better tomorrow. And I'm glad you got all that stuff done.
Yeah, go ahead and check it out. And I got to say, keep doing what you. I think everybody has to do what they can to keep getting the message out in the best way possible. And it's a shame that we only have like our late night comedy hosts seem to be the ones carrying the torch.
They are.
We all can do it in whatever way we can.
Absolutely. Thank you so
I try
much.
to do it through comedy.
Thank you so much, Dean. Have a wonderful day.
Sure.
That's what I loved watching, like yesterday, I guess on Tuesday night, Colbert was on Kimmel, Kimmel was on Colbert, Seth Meyers was on Kimmel. I just loved because Seth is the only one that doesn't compete with the other two, but they're on at the same time. So obviously whoever watches what time shifted to watch the other one on the show.
Yeah.
But I thought that was because NBC, ABC, CBS all getting along. That's just
crazy talk.
It is crazy talk, isn't it? Especially because they do compete with each other. But I like the fact that neither CBS nor
Why was
ABC.
Fallon left out?
He's staying away from politics.
Okay.
Because that's a good idea right now.
Okay.
Technically, but yeah, I know it was nice to see all
It
that.
was. I thought so.
I just think like in times like this, especially, and we've harped on this for so long. We need to back each other up.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, everyone is being targeted right now.
Yeah.
This is like not a time to have inner problems and fight with each other. We need to just say, you know what, this is all bad.
Yeah.
It's all bad.
It is.
Regardless of what I think or what Chris thinks or what Jody thinks of like how, you know, whoever should have reacted to whatever. Like, this is not the time to...
And she starts twitching when that happens. Her little eye starts to twitch. No, you're absolutely right. Zella with a B. It is 19 minutes after the hour. This portion, what do you think of Pete Hegseth? Go.
How about that?
God, first, right out of the box, one of my annual secret missions. And Jody, I can't tell if that's a hot dog on your T-shirt or a giant chili.
It's a chili. It's Jody's. It's
Oh,
Spicy
it's
Jody's
Spicy
hot sauce.
Jody, because Spicy Jody gets to curse when she's on the Bob Seska show, and so they call her Spicy Jody.
Yeah.
She has her own T-shirt. Now
I
I'm
have
jealous.
my own T-shirt. Yeah.
Well, let's get down to the business of talking about fools.
Yeah.
Pete Hegseth. I can't find the words to describe what that jamboree was that he called. I think that what went on is that Hegseth called this meeting together to give his rah-rah pep speech, but he did not intend for Trump to come there.
Right.
And we saw that in reporting that Trump 2 days later was saying like, oh, I didn't know that. And then the next day it was, I will speak to them.
Right.
So it was a monumental wall of idiocy.
Sure.
I mean, some of the stupidest things that I've heard in a very long time. I thought he would get, we thought that he was going to, tilt more towards the you will obey our orders as given. He hinted at that. But there was a lot more stupid things and psychobabble and ridiculousness, and then Trump came on stage. And then it was just Grandpa, talking to the walls at Arby's. It was something else. And I actually had to listen to all of it, so I'm really upset.
Well, I mean, because we had a troll call earlier saying that the rules of engagement are not what he's not defying any sort of international law by saying we don't want to follow the rules of engagement. Is that?
Yes.
He is violating international law by saying that, isn't he?
Yes. Well, this is Pete Hegseth's version of how can I put it? The Arnold Schwarzenegger version of how you should fight in a war, or those ridiculous Navy SEAL movies that you see come out all the time, and they go, "We can't shoot those civilians because of the rules of engagement," or "That boy baby has a bomb and I need to shoot him." The first thing Donald Trump did, besides firing the top two female admirals, that was step one and step two. Then he fired the top black guy, who was the senior military person in the entire armed forces.
Right.
Then his third, fourth, and fifth firings, fourth, fifth, and sixth firings were the top three lawyers at the Defense Department, the judge advocate generals, the top lawyers who have an entire corps of officers going all the way down to the unit level who advise you on what is legal and what is not legal. And, if I could point out, in Trump's first term, he pardoned a boatload of convicted murderers and war criminals.
Yes, he did.
And what Pete Hegseth is doing is he is incorporating that to be the way it's going to be. They are going to start his little nudge and a wink about, you shouldn't be kicked out of the military if you make a mistake. What, Pete? Like be a raging drunk, or sexually assault women, or murder people in the field? The reason that we have excellence in military leadership and we're the finest fighting force in the world is because we have 250 years of weeding out drunk mugs like that guy from the military, because that one mistake is not forgivable if you have a DUI and then you bring that into your command. We have rehab and stuff like that for that. But he's saying they want this stuff expunged from the military record, and going after all those pesky women who keep constantly sending in repeated sexual assault claims because nothing ever happens. He literally said that minus the R word.
Yep. Yes, he did. You're absolutely right. Because how dare we complain more than once about anything?
Yeah, well, the EEO, equal opportunity. I put in complaints. I put in a massive one, and I still have that package. It's like 4 inches deep. And when you get it, you get it. One of the most amazing people I have ever met in my post-war career is one time I was giving a speech. I was invited to give a speech to a women's auxiliary down in Atlanta. And one of this guy walks up to me and he goes, "Hi, I'm Commander such and such. I was the first black pilot in the Blue Angels."
Stephanie Miller. Stephanie Miller.
It is 25 minutes after the hour on the Stephanie Miller Show. I'm Jody Hamilton, sitting in for Ms. Miller with Chris Lavoie and Zella with a B. Hey, Richard in Chicago, you got picked up by ICE?
Yeah, I didn't get picked up. I was just detained for maybe 5 minutes. I was about a block away from the Broad.
That's being picked up.
I'm sorry?
It's being picked up. If you were detained at all, it was being picked up. Yeah.
No, I never even stood up. I was sitting at a picnic table about a block away from the detention center, and I took my drone off and was just flying around getting some long shots of the street. And two trucks just came zooming up. Man, they pulled up over the sidewalk, and jumped. 3 guys jumped out. Fortunately, one of them was relatively intelligent and was able to. He got a little flustered with me at one point. He said, "This is a frequent flyer area."
Wow.
He meant to say restricted.
Sure.
But I've watched a lot of those YouTube videos, so I just remembered everything that I saw, and I zipped my lip when it came to anything I really wanted to say, like to the little guy. You've been short all your life, haven't you? I bet you are really happy to have this moment to get back at tall people. But I didn't. I
was
just
smart.
talked about FAA. I just talked about the flight regulations, and that I knew what I was doing, and just stayed calm. And I posted the whole thing on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
It was only about 5 minutes, but only thing didn't work very well was what's your name, and that didn't work. And also, I'm not giving you my ID. I gave up on that idea. It was okay for a while, but okay, I'm going to give him my ID. It's not because they already got my phone number off the drone. I don't know why I handed it to him. He reached out for it, and I just handed. But the best part is when the drone comes back to my hand, and they're standing so close to me that it kind of just flies right down on top of us, and they all back up and gasp.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. You be careful in Chicago, okay? Because it's very frightening.
I have my. Yeah, thank you. I'm very excited. I have my final radiation treatment tomorrow.
Oh, good.
For prostate cancer.
Congratulations.
I'm so glad to hear that. Okay, that's excellent
Yeah.
news. Excellent news. You stay safe, Richard. Don't provoke them too much. I like that you're out there and doing it, but don't get yourself in too much trouble, okay? Good trouble only.
I've had so many. It's given me nightmares. I'm not going back down there.
Good.
Okay, good. All right, honey. Have a good day.
Love you guys. Love you, Chris.
Oh,
Bye-bye.
you too.
Bye. No, that's scary. 3 trucks pull up
Yeah,
on it?
for one guy. I said this during the break, but they are literally kicking Latinos out of this country for being Latino, whether or not they are illegal or legal
or even citizens.
Or citizens.
Yeah.
And I think we're forgetting the bigger picture here amongst everything else that's been happening is that, this is still happening every single day.
Yep, it is.
And it is not okay. It is blatant racism.
Right.
That is an example of blatant racism that is happening in this country.
Yep.
And I feel like we're just forgetting that. A lot of people are just forgetting that aspect.
Oh, no, I argued with my neighbor. He said they're not picking up U.S. citizens. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah, they
yes,
are.
they
They
are.
Yeah, they are.
They've deported U.S. citizens. They're not just picking them up and detaining them. They have deported children that are U.S.
Some
citizens.
of them have disappeared.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm in a bubble, but mine is I think it's a better bubble because it has reality.
Okay.
I don't know. That's just me. It's 29 minutes after the hour. Right back with Dan Pasternak.
How did the White House decide that it is appropriate for Jared Kushner to be working on matters that involve Qatar, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, 3 countries that combined have given him more than $2.5 billion?
I think it's, frankly, despicable that you're trying to suggest that it's inappropriate.
Oh, hey, girl.
Oh, girl. What are we doing, girl?
Okay, so this is the first time on the Stephanie Miller Show. A very old and dear friend of mine, Dan Pasternak, who is on the road right now with Ryan Reynolds and Chris Candy, promoting the movie John Candy, I Like Me. They will be at the Maltebon Theater this evening in Los Angeles. So if you're in LA, great. And everybody in Chicago on WCPT, they will be at the Chicago Theater on October 5th. So go get the tickets, and some of the proceeds are going to support St. Jude. So
that's right.
This is great.
Yeah.
You know? So Dan, tell us
Welcome,
more
Dan.
tell us more about the tour, what's going on, and all of that stuff.
Thanks so much, Jody. So this all came about because I teach at NYU's Tisch School of the Arts, and Ryan came to speak to my class earlier this year. Ryan Reynolds is just a dear friend. And he was speaking so excitedly about this documentary he was making about John Candy, who is like a touchstone for him in many ways, as an actor, as a Canadian, and just as a human being. I think that, the more he learned about John Candy, obviously, long after the man's passing, the more I think Ryan was inspired by him. So he's talking so excitedly about this documentary, and he was making it for Amazon Prime, for streaming. And I said, "Oh, are you going to be doing any, theatrical showings of the film?" And he said, "Oh, no, that wasn't sort of in the plan." And I just pitched this to him. I said, John Candy is he belongs to everyone, Yeah. And I just thought, wouldn't it be great to do screenings so you could show the movie on a big screen to full theaters of people and then come out and do exactly what you're doing here in front of my class, which is talking about why John Candy is so personally meaningful to you. I figured Ryan Reynolds, of all people, is going to say, that's a nice idea, but I'm busy. It doesn't make sense for whatever reason. Right. And then, crazy thing, he just said, I love that idea. Yeah, let's do that. So we put it together with Mills Entertainment, who are producing the live shows, and Ryan's company, Maximum Effort. So it's been a big team effort. And we started in Ridgefield, Connecticut, at a tiny little movie theater that means a lot to Ryan, called the Prospector Theater. And our first show was myself and Ryan and David Letterman. So there are surprise special guests every night. And trust me, when I can't divulge the lineup for this evening at the Montalban.
I can just imagine.
But it's going to be a very full stage.
Oh, I bet.
Wow,
I bet.
That's so awesome.
Now, yesterday when we were talking on the Politics Bar, you had a funny story about David Letterman after you guys finished on stage that first night. Please.
Well, he's famously a curmudgeon.
Sure.
And I don't know what I was expecting. Every time I have the opportunity to interview one of my heroes, I have this delusion, like I'm going to be the Letterman whisperer or something, And, he meets Chris Candy, John's son, who was there for the evening for the very first time. And I think Dave, like most people, first of all, Chris is the spitting image of his dad, but he's also, just as warm and as lovely and as approachable as you would expect him to be, being John Candy's son.
Right.
And he really is. He's a warm, sweet... Well, you met him.
Yeah.
And so Dave says to Chris Candy, I just want to tell you, meeting you tonight was the highlight of this whole thing for me. Oh. And then Dave turns to me and goes, you much less so.
That's Dave.
That's what you get.
Yep.
That's what you get, Dan. That's what you get. So tell us more about the movie itself. I mean, it's a documentary, and Colin Hanks is the director, correct?
Yes. So Ryan is the producer. Colin Hanks is the director. Colin's dad famously worked with John Candy in the film that really broke him out as a movie star, which was Splash.
Yeah.
So Thom Hanks and John Candy played brothers in that movie.
Yes, they did.
And then they worked together in another film after that called Volunteers. But so, Thom Hanks obviously had a deep connection to John, and Colin is a terrific documentary filmmaker, so he really was sort of perfectly chosen to be the guy to helm this thing. But everybody you would want to be in it is in it. All the cast of SCTV, Robin Duke, Eugene Levy, Dave Thomas, Catherine O'Hara.
Oh.
I mean, Andrea Martin. They all speak so beautifully about that period. And then you've got Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray and Macaulay Culkin. I mean, it's just an endless parade of people who knew and worked with and loved. Everyone loved John Candy. I mean, spoiler alert, it's like if you're going to watch this with the idea of like, oh, we're going to get the dirt on John Candy, what you're going to find out is as much as you loved him, you're going to love him more by the end of this thing.
And it premieres on Amazon on the 10th, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Oh, I cannot wait to see it.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, talking with you and Chris yesterday, I wish Chris were here, but I know he's doing something else. Please tell him hello again. It was just lovely to hear him talk about his dad. I mean, his dad obviously struggled. He died at 43 years old. He was a baby. I've known you longer than he was alive. So there is that. And Chris was a child when he passed away, so I can imagine that, because he and his sister and his mom were very involved in this movie and how it was made.
And they contributed a lot, not just in terms of the interviews and their insights, but there's a lot of personal pictures, home movies. I mean, it really is a very intimate film. And I mean, I think that's one of the things that's so moving about it. So, John Candy lost his dad when he was 5 years old, which really becomes sort of, the formative event that shaped him in many ways. And so Chris kind of, for his narrative in the film, really tracks that as a very sort of parallel thing, because he says, quite movingly, he said, when you lose your father at such an early age, you wind up being like a detective of your own father's life. And that's one of the first things that he says right at the top of the film. So it engages you emotionally right away.
Yeah, we were talking about Only the Lonely yesterday and how much that Chris said that's more like his dad's actual relationship with his parents and his immediate family before he had kids. And so I honestly, if you go to johncandy.com, you can get tickets and you can see a trailer for the movie. So please go do that. But I wish I could go tonight. But as I told you yesterday, I have to get up at 1 o'clock tomorrow morning. And you asked me to just do an all-nighter. I'm like, no.
I have a question. Where did the title of the film come from? John Candy, I Like Me.
So I think they really struggled for what the title would be, but it is a quote from Ryan Reynolds' favorite John Candy performance, which is from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
There you go.
Yep. Yeah. Yes.
And it's that famous scene where Steve Martin as Neil Page says to John Candy as Del Griffith, he sort of assaults him with his sort of assessment of his character, and Candy as Del stands up for himself and he says, "I like me."
Yeah.
And it
really
reveals
touching.
this beautiful vulnerability that I think was at the core of every great John Candy performance.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite films that he did is Planes, because the chemistry between the two of them, I assume Mr. Martin was amazing, and I assume Mr. Martin contributed a little bit to this movie as well, if you got him.
Yes, I'm sorry if I didn't mention he's also interviewed in the film, and yes, loved John Candy and speaks really insightfully about him.
Oh, I bet. And Chris goes, "Hey, Chris Candy's going to be in Spaceballs," and Chris let us know yesterday. Am I?
Yeah, I guess I read wrong on the internet.
We all did, apparently. So, we joked yesterday, let's call Mr. Brooks right now and get him on the phone. But Mr. Brooks also did contribute to the documentary as well.
Yes, Mel Brooks. I'm sorry, as in enumerating all the interviews, I'm invariably going to miss some people, but Mel Brooks also spoke really lovingly. And the interesting thing is, so Mel Brooks became acquainted with John Candy because one of John Candy's great advocates was Carl Reiner.
Yeah.
And so John had starred in the film Summer Rental for Carl Reiner, and had said to the president of Paramount Pictures when he was asked to direct the film, he says, "I will only direct the film if John Candy is the star."
Wow. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's really huge. Now, a little bit of bio on your end. You helped Jimmy Kimmel get his TV gigs.
I hired him for what was his first TV job, and it kind of started him on this path.
Sure.
And everything since, honestly, I have just borne witness to as we continue to be really great friends.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I hired him for a silly game show presentation that we did when I worked for Fred Silverman, and Jimmy was still at that time Jimmy the sports guy on the Kevin and Bean morning show on KROQ here in Los Angeles.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was that for Win Ben Stein's money?
Yes. No, he got that
it was-
after.
Okay.
So he got the job on Win Ben Stein's money as a byproduct of doing the game show presentation that I hired him for. Yeah.
Wow.
But didn't he said, "I don't want to screw you guys over," and you're like, "Take the
He is
take the money.
He is as honorable a guy as you would think he is. And even though he's not making a lot of money working in radio, at that time already had a wife and 2 kids, he said, no, he said, even though we didn't pay him talent hold money and didn't contractually have him held, he's like, well, if I take this job, you guys might not be able to sell this show. And I was like, Jimmy, we're not going to sell the show. You're great. The show is terrible.
Wow.
So I assume that you were as upset as the rest of us when he was suspended from ABC for those few days.
Of course, but can I tell you something?
Sure.
Jimmy Kimmel did what Columbia University couldn't.
Exactly.
Jimmy Kimmel did what a lot of major corporations and universities and law firms could not do, which was when, the gun was trained on his head and said, this is what you must do in order to, capitulate and sort of bend your knee and be properly repentant for doing nothing wrong.
Exactly.
Jimmy just went, no.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then they said, okay, you can go back on the air. And he's a folk hero now.
He is?
Yes, absolutely.
And his ratings are much bigger than they were before. So whatever they were trying to do had the seemingly reverse effect.
It absolutely
and it's just
did.
been delightful.
I assume you were in touch with him during that time. I know my mom texted him immediately, and she was like, oh, my God,
Look, the entire civilized world was texting him. Yes. Jimmy being Jimmy always got back, and even just thanks, pal, love you. As busy as Jimmy is, he is such a conscientious and loyal friend. I can't say enough about that guy.
That's so nice to hear.
He is the man to meet the moment. He really is.
Oh, nice to hear that. So, okay, so you have a show tonight at the Montalban here in Los Angeles. There are still tickets available.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I think a few. Not
they're
many,
balcony,
but
though. They're all I checked. They're all in the balcony, kids, but it'll be worth it.
Right.
It is worth it. I promise you. The special guests for tonight will be more than worth it.
Oh, cool.
I wish I could go. Can you do it at noon?
Only if I can break my fast at 11:30.
Right. Very true. I'm sorry. Yes, I know you can't eat because of Yom Kippur, so you're a good Jew. And also October 5th at the Chicago Theater, so all of our listeners in Chicago or anywhere.
Yep.
Because they're also got shows at the Rings Theater in Brooklyn, the Schubert in Boston.
The
Brooklyn,
King's Theater.
I'm sorry, yeah, it's my computer.
Uh-oh. Schmutz on it?
It's got schmutz. So the King's Theater in Brooklyn on October 8th and the Schubert in Boston, Massachusetts.
Awesome.
On the 14th. So
and we have announced who the guest is for the King's Theater in Brooklyn.
Who?
So Ryan was on Jimmy's show in Brooklyn Monday,
right?
And he spilled the beans. So it's going to be his co-star from Deadpool Wolverine, Hugh Jackman.
Oh my God,
that's going to be fantastic.
So it's going to be Ryan and Hugh Jackman. And if our show that we did in Philly with his partner Rob Mack is any indication, when Ryan is teamed up with somebody where he's got that kind of deep history and relationship,
Right.
it's going to be fun. Because Ryan tells the story about how Deadpool and Wolverine was basically written in the footprint of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And there are tons of John Candy Easter eggs.
I see that now. That makes sense now.
Wow, that's so cool.
I assume Jason
Right?
Bateman might be there tonight because I know he's old friends with Ryan Reynolds. Anyway, I don't know if he's there. I'm just speculating because that's what we do on the radio. But okay, and again, proceeds are going to support St. Jude. So you're not only going to see a great show, but you're going to help people. And so thank you, Dan.
And JohnCandy.com is where you can get tickets?
JohnCandy.com is where you can get tickets.
Please.
Thank you so much, Dan, for being on the show today. And I know you're going to have a great time tonight and get some food in your system by 6:36 this evening.
Thank you so much.
All right, honey. Love you.
Thanks, Dan. Love you too. Bye.
It's 49 minutes after the hour. This portion of the Stephanie Miller. Hello, Rude. How are you, sir?
I'm very good. And for living in a fascist dictatorship, I am doing just fine.
You saw the Mary Todd play over the weekend.
Oh, Mary.
I saw Oh Mary on Broadway. It starred Jinx Monsoon as Mary Todd Lincoln and Kumail Nanjiani as Abraham Lincoln, and Michael Urie, who most people know from the show Shrinking, but has been a stage actor forever and is amazing. Also in it.
He was also on Ugly Betty.
Yes, he was.
Yes, and
with our friend Anna Ortiz.
Anna Ortiz was here yesterday. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I never watched Ugly Betty. Sorry.
Okay.
She was on Devious Maids too.
Yep.
And it was hysterical, and so I'm sure it's going to tour. I'm sure there's going to be LA productions.
There has to be, because it won Tonys as well, didn't it?
It won everything. Yeah.
No.
Won
I am jealous.
Tonys. Yeah. So it was. I went in sort of skeptical that could it really be this funny as everyone says, and I came away thinking, that was pretty effing funny.
I can't wait till it does.
And
tour.
Subversive as hell and queer as hell.
Yeah,
love it.
So
love it. And by the way, Stephanie just reminded us because she came down.
Yep.
That Stephen Stills was also at the party.
That's right.
Yesterday.
Oh my God! All right. I don't know that I ever got an invitation.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Could because you're an East Coaster? I don't know.
Would you have flown in for it?
No.
Okay.
That could also be why.
Yeah.
The knowledge that you weren't going to be here could probably...
I know, but it's always nice to be on the list.
I know.
It is always nice. And guess who's...
So just to brag, I could have gone to a party with all of the people here.
Yes. You could have. And you know who's on the East Coast right now? Jimmy Kimmel.
That's right.
That's right.
He's going to be doing his show from
Brooklyn.
I'm hoping to see the show on Thursday. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I'm hoping to see it on Thursday, which is when Bruce Springsteen will be there. So even
more reason.
Yeah, and Jeremy Allen White. So
Oh
wow.
yeah. But I mean, his suspension was ridiculous, and and Stephen Colbert being basically canceled because he technically will be off the air come May 27th or whenever his last show is.
Yes.
This is frightening because they love the Second Amendment. Love that. They don't like the one that precedes it, apparently.
Yes.
As long as you or I say.
Except the religion part.
Right. They don't like the press.
No. They don't like having the freedom to gather in groups, freely, free association. No, not too fond of that. Unless it's their, MAGA, Nazi rallies or, ICE agents gathering in a city to just stand around and wait for brownish-looking people to walk by.
Yeah. Which is literally just what happened in Chicago over the weekend.
And literally what they're saying they are doing.
Yeah.
They told a reporter, we're waiting for people that look a certain way, and then looked at the white reporter and said, not like you. So all the Irish people that are here undocumented, you're good. You're good, baby. ICE isn't going to bother you.
Yeah, the Spaniards, because they're European. The French.
Eastern Europeans.
Eastern Europeans, especially.
Yes,
especially.
yes.
And Northern Europeans, because they're super blonde.
Hello there, folks.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
We're well.
Yes, I'm a former Marine, and I was inspired to call from that knucklehead that called you yesterday. You called him Marine Man. and unfortunately, I have to claim him as one of ours, but, it takes all types.
Sure.
I think yesterday the thing at Quantico was a big win for us in the sense that the silence that those generals spoke when he walked in the room. See, Trump is a ghoul. He's a vampire. He's an energy vampire. And he's like this organism that thrives on adulation and ego reinforcement.
Yes.
And they weren't going to give it to him. And I think it was a big, big moment in the resistance, if you will. And also, if you notice, in the crowd, it just wasn't generals. It was senior staff,
right?
First sergeants, staff sergeants. So this thing went to many levels. So I think it's all good and rock and roll.
Yeah.
It's all good. This is coming from a former Marine. I spent
right.
3 years. And I was stationed at Quantico, too, for 3 years.
Oh,
by
wow.
the way.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Steve. You're the Semper Fi, baby.
Yeah.
Semper Fi.
You're the good one.
Hey,
yes?
Jody?
Yes, sir.
Hey, real quick. I was around 10 years old. I believe I watched the Gary Marsh show the night your mom made her first appearance in the Gary Marsh show.
Oh,
I was alive, and I saw that live.
Wow.
Just to let you know.
You were a baby when you saw that. But yeah, hey.
I was.
You were a little baby. I hope you enjoyed it. All
I
right,
was
honey.
like 10 or 9 or
All
something
right.
like that. But anyway,
All
love
right.
you guys.
Bye. Thank you, Steve. It is 58 minutes after the hour. Dana Goldberg coming up next on the...
Caution my colleagues on, one-sided violence in this country. We just heard that there were no riots on the right. We're literally sitting in the building where there was a giant riot by supporters of the president. Right. We also heard that only leftists have said that Trump is a Nazi. In 2016, the current vice president of the United States said, Trump is either a cynical asshole or he's America's Hitler.
I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him.
And so this is the problem. I don't want to have to say this garbage, but you want me to sit here and get painted with one brush, the whole left. No, there are extremes on the left. And there are extremes on the right. And we collectively should tackle that. But to come here and just look at us and say we all support what's going on in the extremes is why we can't solve anything in this building.
If you're a homeowner in America, you need to listen to this. The FBI has been warning about a type of real estate fraud on the rise called title theft. Yikes. And your equity is the target. Here's how it works. Criminals can forge your signature on a single document, use a fake notary stamp, file it with the county, and just like that, on record, they own your home. Using your ownership, they can take out loans against your equity or even sell your property, and you won't even know about it until a foreclosure or a collection notice shows up in your mail. Yeah, that's why I have partnered with Home Title Lock, so you can protect your equity and find out today if you're already a victim. Go now to HometitleLock.com/Stephanie. You'll get a free title history report and a free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. That's 24/7 monitoring of all of your title records, urgent alerts to any changes, and if fraud occurs, their U.S.-based restoration team will spend up to $1 million to fix it. Don't be a victim. Protect your equity today. Go to HometitleLock.com/Stephanie. One more time, that's HometitleLock.com/Stephanie.
Poland recently went through a shift towards authoritarianism. Unlike in Russia, unlike in Hungary, the media remained a place in Poland where you could criticize the regime. And as a result, democracy returned. The moral of Poland is that our democratic institutions, the media, the university, and the courts are essential.
We've crossed yet another Rubicon, haven't we, Glenn? I mean, here we are. James Comey has been indicted, based on, even though every attorney, including the last attorney that just resigned, all of the attorneys in that office have said there's no there there. So here we are. Your thoughts?
Yeah, we can officially call the date and time of death of the legitimacy of the Department of Justice under Trump and Bondi. It is September 25th, 2025, when a Trump flunky apparently walked into the grand jury and had them vindictively indict Jim Comey. I believe this will be a Kimmel-esque miscalculation by the Trump administration, just as, you know, they did awaken a sleeping giant when it came to Jimmy Kimmel. What did they do? They succeeded in galvanizing support for Kimmel. They took him off air for a week. He's now back on. He's bigger and better and funnier than ever. So what does it do? It proves that Trump is weak, not strong. It proves he's ineffective and feckless. And this indictment will prove to be the same thing in the long run.
This is the time that we, as a community, have to band together. You know that you can't win. You know that there's a slew of GOP lawmakers that are unhappy with the way that the bill is written.
Do I like this bill? No.
And by the way, you must expect that this bill was going to have a ton of issues because it's over 1,000 pages long. And when you have something that's over 1,000 pages long, there's going to be something that's going to piss off just about everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here today to apologize.
Why did you say ladies first? That's sexist.
It's just a standard greeting. Let me start over. Gentlemen and ladies.
Who says the man?
The party is fractured. What they need is one person. They need one person, doesn't matter who it is, to go in and to be able to communicate with the Democrats and bring them and the Republicans to the same table so that you're not going to end up walking out, beating the shit out of the guy across the table. You're going to walk out figuring out how you did something good for your constituents and the country.
I guess that's the concept. If snakes are fast, but alligators are, but we're going to teach them how to run away from an alligator, okay? If they escape prison, how to run away.
That violence is emanating from the president, all right, in the language, all right? That's a permission structure out there. And I'm starting to see, it's been happening for forever now, but it's filtering its way down to the states and where you see people, emulating it now.
Let me be very clear about something. This is the time that we, as a community, have to band together. The bigger we are, the louder we are, the stronger we are.
That they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
And then if we combine it all, we're as big as anybody can be. And then from there, we even grow further, right? That's the whole purpose. So that come 2026, we leave nothing to chance and we literally ensure that what we need to happen.
Under this administration. There was, however, significant inhumane treatment of illegal immigrants in the previous administration as they were being trafficked and raped and beaten, and in many cases killed over our United States southern border.
What?
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Didn't you hear, girl? That's not happening. That's not happening at all. What are you talking about?
No, not even a little bit. It is 6 minutes after the hour on the Stephanie Miller Show. I'm Jody Hamilton filling in with Chris Lavoie, Zelda with a B, and look who we got right there.
Raised by a wild pack of Jews, here's Dana Goldberg. Goldberg's here. Gold. Ha, ha, ha. For one of the top 5 funniest lesbians in America. Goldberg's here. I'll stick with you, baby, for 1,000 years. Nothing gets better when Dana's here. Dana's here.
Good morning, Ms. Goldberg. How are you?
I'm good. I'm bringing the BDE to the show. Big Dana energy.
Yeah! Atta girl.
And maybe a little of the other. I've been told when I walk in a room from the lesbian population, apparently I have a little BDE. So there you go.
All right.
Atta girl. Atta girl. It's good to see you. It's been a while. I miss you.
I know it has.
It's
nice
been
to see you as well, my friend.
forever. So you were not in this Los Angeles area. You were somewhere else.
I am somewhere else. I am not in the Los Angeles area.
She is in an undisclosed location.
That's right. I can't tell people where I am. I know people like to stalk me. I only have one stalker. They live in Houston.
Oh no, that's one too many. I'm just saying. That's
it really is. Yeah,
it's one
been
too
wild.
many.
Yep.
So you had a tweet about Republicans every time you don't get to demonize the trans community and then fetishize them in your free time, and Canada has just issued a new warning for trans visitors to these United States.
That's right.
Yeah. The trans community. You know this. I'm a staunch ally, and I will fight tooth and nail. I am so sorry that somehow they have decided you are the scapegoats, because I imagine it's absolutely, I almost said the F word because I'm used to the daily beans. I imagine it's absolutely exhausting, and just know that you've got allies fighting next to you who are being vocal. And I just implore anyone who's listening to the show, if you feel safe to do it, and I hope you do, because these people are living their lives out and proud every day, stand up for your trans community now more than ever. Be vocal. Be vocal, be vocal.
I agree. I could not agree with you more. I just had lunch with a friend of mine who is a trans actor, and I worry for him. Yeah. You know, I'm worried that because he's out because he used to be on Henry Danger, and he played the scientist or the doctor on that show, and they did a whole spread on him in like Newsweek or something several years ago, where it was a very funny video that they posted too, because they're like, "Have you heard Michael?" You know, everybody's whispering, and they're like, "You're from Canada?" You know, so that was, you know, because Michael's funny, first off. But that was, first off, his entire cast and crew and everybody welcomed him. But for him to come out that publicly on a children's show, because Henry Danger was a children's show, and kids love him. I got to go see a taping of it, and we brought our neighbors because their kids were very young and they loved the show. They're like, "Yeah, you know him? We love him," you know? And it's like, kids couldn't care less. So why is everybody so afraid? I don't get it.
Well, of course you don't get it, because you don't have a bigoted mind. But I do want, you know, I think that more and more articles are coming out about elected officials who are villainizing the trans community and then getting, arrested for child porn. Gubernatorial candidates who are dropping out of races because they are watching trans porn. Mm-hmm. You can watch as much trans porn as you want.
Ahead.
I mean, celebrate it, but you don't get to make laws that are hurting the trans community and then enjoy them in your free time. You don't get to do that part.
I'm with you.
That's what's the most. But I hope the more and more these stories come out, that people start to realize, wait a minute, everything can't be their fault. So maybe really nothing is their fault.
I mean, they really want to pin, you know, everything with the last shooter who shot Charlie Kirk. I mean, they want to pin it on the trans community because he had a roommate that's trans, but we still haven't heard much after that.
Also, those little text messages that were released, nowhere in there is there an admission of a trans love in that text message exchange, which was written like a Saudi romance novel. I mean, seriously. But the things that they're putting out, I mean, Kash Patel will jeopardize any investigation to put out a bullet with a word on it. But man, he can't release the Epstein files for anything, can he?
No, they, in fact, as I'm sure you know and have discussed with Ms. Gill, that they're still not seating Representative-elect. Well, she's Representative Grijalva now. And I asked Carl Frisch earlier, I said, is there a deadline between now and the next Congress? A new Congress, that's a whole different thing, but that's a couple of years from now.
I think there's some sort of an October something date, isn't there, that she's supposed to be sworn in by? That's because when they certify the election that day, like it's clear that she's won,
right?
But I think there has something to do with the certification. But it's Johnson. We don't know if he's going to swear her in regardless.
He has. I mean, she was complaining, rightfully so, that the last two Republicans that won special elections, their elections weren't quite certified yet, but they were seated.
Right, of course they were.
And she won
yeah.
She won in big numbers. It's not like it was 1% or there's a recount going on.
Happening. Yeah, I honestly don't know how we fight back against this stuff other than I really wish Hakeem Jeffries and Schumer, even though he's in the Senate, were getting louder than they are. I'm not a fan of Jeffries, but you are the Senate minority leader. You should be driving every single fight against this administration right now.
Yes.
Both he and Schumer absolutely should be doing that. I agree. I mean, I'm glad, as much as it's painful for the people that are out of work right now or working and not getting paid, because that's awful. That's several 100,000 people across the country. But I'm glad that they did stand up because, as we've been talking about all week, yes, the ACA is important in the battle, but it's the fact that the Republicans, the last time Schumer caved in the Senate, because it was the Senate that passed it in March, because the House Democrats didn't. But what happened was they said, okay, we'll do this. Everybody gets to stay at work. But then they started doing pocket rescissions, which was firing people and not giving money out where it's supposed to be and that they agreed to. So the fact that Schumer et al. Have finally realized they're not negotiating in good faith, why should we give them anything if they're going to...
I don't know why it took this long, but I agree with you. I'm glad it's finally happening.
I know. It's just, I think it's Schumer's old school. You know, he used to be able to work across the aisle, but that was before all of
Things have changed. Things have changed.
Yeah,
in
there's no aisle. There's
Right.
a Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
It's not like we're just stepping over a line right here and being like, hey, there's the other party. It's more of like, Marco, anyone. Nobody? All right, great.
Yeah, you just hear that.
And then every once in a while, you've got the guy, who's a Republican that wants to release the Epstein files? What's his name? Massey?
Massey, yeah, Tom Massey.
Yeah, you've got Marco, and then you've got Massey by himself over in the, the sticks going, Polo!
Polo!
I'm here, I'm trying.
He is. I mean, but to give them credit, which is weird for me to say these words coming out of my mouth, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Nancy Mace, and Lauren Boebert are all signed on for this. And it's like three people I abhor, but yay?
I don't trust this. I don't trust that we're going to get this released, and because I can absolutely see Marjorie Taylor Greene going on the House floor and reading all of the Republican names and redacting who she thinks are Democrat names.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust these two until this actually comes to fruition. I just don't.
Well, what's been interesting is stuff that has gotten out, and that's Comer's, committee. And so Bob Cesca has a theory that Comer wants to undermine Donald Trump and these people. Because all these people were getting this information from his committee. He can stop the Democrats from releasing this information at any time. He can say, no, you can't do that. But they're able to do this. So I kind of getting into the fact that maybe Jim Comer doesn't like Donald as much as we think he does.
Oh, I would hope so. Listen, someone be a hero. You know what I mean at this point? Just be the hero.
Yeah.
Even if you lose your job, you're going to get another job.
Yeah.
Just be the hero. If you get voted out for this, and I don't think you would be, honestly, you would probably get more support from both sides of the aisle in your next election. Just be the hero.
Well, yeah, I mean, MAGA still wants, it's not going away, thankfully. As much as everything else he ever did or was involved with, let's say.
Yeah, this is his kryptonite. 100% is his kryptonite. You listen to Michael Wolff. Is it Michael Wolff who wrote the book?
Yeah.
Who has all of the Epstein hours, too, that they interview. He's like, this is what you should negotiate in the government shutdown. Release the files or we're not budging. Like, this is your moment right now. Why are they not doing that? It's just...
That's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Who can we call? You're on the same side as Jane Fonda.
You are.
I love that idea. I'll follow her anywhere.
Yeah, me too. She's fantastic. She just relaunched the Committee for the First Amendment, which was first formed in 1947. Her father was involved in that, with actors fighting against the House Un-American Activities Committee and the blacklisting of artists. Because, with Jimmy Kimmel and Seth Meyers is in their radar too, and so is Jimmy Fallon. Though Jimmy is kind of backing off because
Jimmy knows how to walk that line. He does that little hair tussle. So Jimmy, it will be interesting to see what happens there. But Seth Meyers is not going to back down, which is a
no,
beautiful
he's
thing.
not. He's fantastic. But she was on with Dana Bash the other day, and Bash asked Fonda how she felt the current Democratic leaders are doing, and she revealed that she is less than impressed, like the young Chris Lavoie. She said, not good enough, so along with this committee that's been launched today, it's exciting that there's an exponential growth. People are signing up the minute they hear it. I already signed up. Sally Field, John Hamm, and I mean, it's an amazing array of, it's like 500 or 600 people right now. I'm sure it's going up on an hourly basis. She said, I don't feel that our leaders are doing what they need to do. If you can't change the people, change the people. That's what we're doing. So, I mean,
listen, AOC gave, sorry,
no,
Jody.
no, go.
AOC gave an incredible speech just talking about the fact that they're not as powerful as they seem. They want you to think they're in power right now, but they're not. When you see things like Jimmy Kimmel getting pulled off the air, an hour boycott and canceling, I mean, I think it was upwards in different facets of almost $4 billion in 4 days.
Oh, yeah.
I think the number is close to that. And them retracting and being like, oh, that's power. We have power, and we have power in numbers. There's still more of us than there are of them. Now's not the time to get deflated in the sense of like, oh, nothing matters now. Our vote's not going to count. The midterms are going to be hacked. You don't know that. They wouldn't be trying to gerrymander in all of these states if they had a way in right now that they were like foolproof.
I agree. That gives me hope that they're trying to gerrymander in a weird way.
Yeah. And I think they're going to screw themselves with a lot of these maps because some of these maps in Texas took red parts from blue areas that they needed, as well as I don't think they're counting on as many of the Latin voters, Latina voters in Texas, as well as Republicans that are tired of this BS. And even with the gerrymandered maps, they're going to lose their votes. I don't think they're counting on any of that, and I still have hope for this. I do.
I do too. And on that happy clappy note, it is 18 minutes after the hour. This portion of Hi everybody. It's
Hi Jody.
Hi. It's not the Stephanie Miller Show, it's the Jody Hamilton Show.
Yes.
I'm kidding.
I'm
sitting in
You're
for Ms.
taking
Miller.
over.
I've taken over. She is here. Eve Harrington has shown up again. Thank you, Chris, and the lovely Bella with
Welcome
a
back,
Z.
Bella.
Thank you.
Welcome home.
Thank you.
How was your vacation?
It was so good and so needed, but now I am so out of it. And I need to get back into the rhythm. We are not there yet.
Well, thank you for being here, and thank you to Sean for last week
That's
for
right.
being here for you.
Yep.
I got to see him yesterday at the soiree.
Yes,
well, the
Stephanie
brunch.
had a birthday
It was
brunch
a brunch
yesterday.
and
Yep.
it was lovely, and got to hang out with Mark Hamill.
Yeah. All of our favorites were there. Victor Shee was there.
Yes, Kathy Griffin.
Kathy Griffin
made
was
it.
there. Yep. Julie Brown.
Julie Brown.
Not the downtown Julie Brown.
Different Julie Brown. Right. The redhead.
Paula Poundstone was there.
Paula was there. In fact, when Lonnie and I showed up, that's when she got here. And we're like,
Okay.
she's like, I miss you at the airport, Lonnie, because she ran into him when he was going somewhere, and she was like, hey, Lonnie, it's Paula. And
Yeah.
She goes, no, it's Paula Poundstone.
Right.
Right. And so they hung out until her flight had to leave and stuff. She goes, now I'm at the airport and I miss you.
Aw.
Which is so sweet.
And Frangela was there. Hal Sparks
Frangela
was there.
Hal was there. I mean, it was quite the shindig.
Yeah,
it was very fun. It was very fun. And she's awake already.
Yeah, she is.
We can tell because the light's on.
Her sister's here.
Yeah, Mary is here.
Yeah.
And they might come down.
At some point this
It
week.
is Ms. Miller's birthday today.
It is.
She's all of 44. She's not in her 50s. We're just going to go with that. She's
And Travis Bone was there. Jackie Scheckner was there.
Jackie was there. Everybody. It was like old home week.
I know.
It really was. Carlos Alazraqui.
That's right.
Rob and Trish of.
Rob and Trish.
Right, they were there.
Yeah. And I introduced Anna Ortiz. I said, that's Rob of Rob and Trish. And she was like, oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, no, she
It's like
freaked
she was meeting a celebrity.
She freaked out meeting me. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what? She's like, no, I love you. And then she gave me her phone number. She goes, call me every 5 minutes.
Okay.
So when they left, I called her. I'm like, I'm calling you every 5 minutes.
Yes. And the lovely and talented Mr. Ortiz was there.
Mr. Ortiz was there. Noah. And it was very cute because I emailed Mark Cherry when I got home.
Okay.
I said, I met Anna Ortiz. And he goes, oh, I'm in New York until the 29th of November. Let's get together when we get home. So
yeah.
So that'll be nice. I haven't seen Mark in years. So
Aw.
it was very sweet. It was like, oh, it's so good to hear from you. No, but she was so, like, it was weird
Yeah.
seeing somebody that famous being starstruck with me.
Yeah.
That's just weird.
Yeah, but she was really sweet.
She is really sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, just like hands down. Hi, Anna. My new best friend. I'm calling you every 5 minutes. So, all right. Let's start with shootings.
Yeah, we had a couple of them over the weekend.
It's just seriously. 3 are dead now, as of this morning.
I believe 4.
4 now.
Yeah.
And 8 injured after shots were fired at a waterfront North Carolina bar
Oh,
from
in North
a
Carolina.
boat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the boat. That was the first one this weekend.
Right.
So a guy on a boat shot at people.
Yeah, at an outdoor restaurant.
Yeah,
on
he
the
was
water.
traveling the Cape Fear River, and the shooter fired into the crowd. The Southport Police Department have arrested and charged a man in connection with it. According to court documents, Nigel Edge is charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder and 5 counts of attempted first-degree murder and 5 counts of assault with a deadly weapon. There is no credible threat anymore. We don't know what his motivation was at this point. And that's just, I mean, seriously, people. And then there's the Mormon Church in Michigan.
Yep.
40-year-old Thomas Jacob Sanford, that's the only time I'm going to say his name, a U.S. Marine veteran, rammed his Chevy Silverado truck into the building before unleashing the assault on the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc Township, Michigan. He had a semi-automatic rifle. His mother says that the gunman who died served in Iraq from 2004 to 2008, and he's believed to be connected to a Sanford show where he's a family man with a wife and young son. Okay, his PTSD might have been part of this, but seriously. After the hour here on the Stephanie Miller Show, I'm Jody Hamilton sitting in for Ms. Miller. She will be back on Monday. It is her birthday week.
That's right.
She's not in her 50s. But that's the only honest way I can put that. And I have the lovely Dana Goldberg with me, and we've got Marie in Atlanta. Hi.
Hey there. Thanks for taking my call.
Of course.
Hey there. And Bella with a Z, of course. So here's the thing. Earlier you talked about this idea about, the Republicans are saying we had to shut down the government because the Democrats want to give illegal aliens access to medical care.
Right.
Well, okay. Let's break that down a little bit. Number one, obviously we all know that if someone is not here legally, they cannot get government-funded health care.
Exactly.
First of all. Second of all, keep in mind that if we were to allow those who are here but are not citizens to be able to purchase even the unsubsidized health care, just like we make them pay into Social Security they'll never be able to collect, wouldn't we actually benefit by allowing them to buy the non-subsidized care?
I think so.
It's expensive as heck, but I think it would ultimately be to all of our benefit.
I agree completely. That's what boggles my mind. Thank you, Marie. That's what boggles my mind about them. You can't even buy it on the exchange at full price. That's insane to me. If they have the money to spend, let them spend it. I don't
Absolutely.
I don't get it. I mean I also don't get not subsidized, but that's a me thing. I want everybody
Also,
healthy.
A big part of this is EMTALA. JD Vance is talking about these lies. If you watch Politics Girl, Leah's amazing.
Yes.
She has this new video out and she's talking about all this is about EMTALA. This was a Reagan thing where they made a law that anyone that goes into an emergency room in the United States has to get care. You can't turn someone away.
Right.
That was being subsidized by federal money. Now JD is like, we're taking that away. We're ending it. It wasn't a Biden administration error decision. He's like, we're ending it. Okay, so what you've done is you've ended the funding to hospitals. Now hospitals are picking up the tab, and who are they passing that on to? Taxpayers. We're paying for that. So JD Vance, you're not doing us any favors by having this shutdown, because anyone who walks into an emergency room in this country is going to get helped. No one is going to let someone bleed out and die on the emergency floor. And if that's the country that they want, it's not the country I want to live in. That's insane.
Well, yeah, I mean, and again, like if people aren't insured, my insurance rates go up. Because they go to the ER, and the hospitals and the insurance industry, they're like, I need to make a profit, which I have an issue with making profit off of healthcare, but that's a me thing. But I mean, speaking of healthcare,
we're also spending a lot of our money to a country that actually has healthcare paid for. I mean, no matter what you feel about what's going on in the Middle East, Israel is one of those countries that what is it called when it's like Canada.
Yeah, it's like universal or
universal healthcare.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So they've got their people covered.
Yeah, and we subsidize Israel, and guess what they do? Abortion care.
Yep.
Yep.
No questions asked. But this is interesting. In Florida, only 29% of people in Florida back ending childhood vaccination. Yay! At least 70% of them are smart. 62% of Florida voters are against the state's proposal to get rid of all vaccine mandates for public school children. Only 29% support it going away.
Well, thank God. I mean, listen, I
know.
know they're never going to do this, but you don't want to vaccinate your kid? Good. You don't get to leave the state. You don't get to leave the state. Those kids don't get to leave the state. The problem is that other kids are going to get sick around them, even if they are vaccinated, because it doesn't keep you from getting sick. It just keeps you from getting very sick.
Right.
Yeah, you don't get to leave the state. I don't need your measles. I don't need your mumps. I actually have a vaccine for that, and I'm fine with it.
I actually had to get a booster for my MMR.
I'm about to get mine as well. Apparently,
Smart.
mine ran round. Just did
Mine
a blood test.
too.
and
I
they're
did
like,
the
hey,
blood
You
test.
don't have just. I guess it's mumps for me, but we're getting them all.
Yeah, it was everything for me, and I'm like, okay, thank you. And when I went to the doctor, she's like, do you want it today? I'm like, yes, please.
Yeah.
I would like it as soon as possible. Thank you very
Whooping
much.
cough, apparently, everyone in Southern California is ripping through Southern California, and it's not just for babies anymore. So I'm just telling you, if you don't have an immunity shot for whooping cough, you might want to look into it.
I need to
because
look into
there's
that.
no
I'm not
cure,
around
and it
children,
is
but still, yeah, I don't
ugly.
want that. It is 29 minutes after the hour. We'll be right back with more.
I wanted to talk to you both, Yahweh and Yesh, because I wrote a book, and it's about you guys, but it's really about some of your fans, the mean ones, the racist ones, the homophobe ones, the ones who don't like women. You guys come off really well in the book. Jesus, you come off really good in this book.
Yeah, I've heard that when people talk about the Bible, they tell me that God, you come off really well.
Said no one ever.
Jesus comes off really well. Yeah, no, God, you're very impressive, God. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but you there's some moments, Almighty, where you're kind of the alcoholic step God. You know what I'm saying? But Jesus, he's chill throughout. Like he's proof of evolution.
But John, people have been twisting my message, right? And that's what this book is about.
It really is, Jesus. I mean, I've gone through this book of yours many times. You never said anything against the gays. You never said anything against women having to be forced to be pregnant. I mean, you're not against abortion. You're against the death penalty, Jesus. I know that. You're like your dad in that you tell us to welcome the stranger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the right people are twisting my message left and right, and we can't take it anymore. So we're so excited to have this book, a really rock solid resource to show people what the Bible actually says. And that's why we love you, John. You're spreading our true good word.
Simon & Schuster's Avid Reader Press presents Separation of Church and Hate, the bold, hilarious new book from John Fugelsang, available September 9th and on sale now at your local independent bookstore or your favorite non-evil website.
Virginia was 16 and working at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort when Maxwell spied her reading a textbook on massage.
She just seemed very nice, and she said, I've got a person that I know who's actually looking for a traveling masseuse. And if you want, I can get you an interview with him. If he likes you, we can get you educated. You'll be a real masseuse. And you'll get to travel and see the world. And you know, like, she made it sound like it was a dream come true. And it wasn't.
Within hours, Virginia was at Epstein's Florida mansion, lured there by Maxwell's promise. It ended in a devastating sexual attack.
So put it this way, we did the back of him, we did the back of Epstein, and then when he turned over, that's when I was instructed to get undressed and have sex with Jeffrey Epstein while Ghislaine Maxwell was participating as well.
So you were abused by both of them in your very first encounter?
Yeah, both of them. I was abused by Ghislaine and Epstein.
Maxwell is in prison.
I just wish her well, frankly, but I wish her well.
The other day, a reporter asked you about Ghislaine Maxwell. You said, quote, I just wish her well, frankly. Mr. President, Ghislaine Maxwell has been arrested on allegations of child sex trafficking.
Yeah, I wish her well. I'd wish you well. I'd wish a lot of people well. And I do wish her well. I'm not looking for anything bad for her.
She's a alleged child sex trafficker.
Such a big deal. I do. I wish her well.
So you were abused by both of them in your very first encounter?
Yeah, both of them. I was abused by Ghislaine and Epstein.
But I wish her well.
American cities as, quote, training grounds.
For what? I don't know what's being implied by that.
These troops are going to be in U.S. cities and use their time in U.S. cities to do military training.
Well, sure. I think that's been very beneficial for the National Guard.
So it's okay?
It's a win-win scenario.
No, it's not.
Wow.
No, it's not. It is 34 minutes after the hour on the Stephanie Miller Show. I'm Jody Hamilton sitting in. I have the lovely and talented Dana Goldberg.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning, pretty lady.
Where can we see you next?
Oh my gosh, that's a really good question. You
Oh.
can definitely go to my website.
Okay, sorry, didn't mean to put you on the spot.
I know. I've got a few galas coming up. That's the thing. I'm going to be in Seattle on the 11th for a Human Rights Campaign gala. I'll be in Minnesota on the 18th for Human Rights Campaign. On November 12th, I'm going to be in Chicago for an event for Gender Cool, if you want to support our transgender
Awesome.
youth. And then I'll be doing, and you're going to find out about this now, tickets have not got on sale. So if you're a Steph head, watch my website. The 14th of November in Chicago. It's a small theater, Black Box, 100 seats. We're going to have a really intimate show. Those are going to go on sale next week, so make sure you keep an eye because it's going to sell out quickly, and I always love when my Daily Beans and my Steph head are in the audience.
Aw. I wish I could go to all of those things. I wish I could go to there. So ICE has bought a tool that tracks locations of all cell phones.
Yes. Yes.
Isn't that
All
fun?
what?
Everybody's
cell
cell
phones.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, it's access to a surveillance tool that's updated every day with billions of pieces of location data from hundreds of millions of mobile. It just sounds like too much.
Yeah.
I also wonder where is that tracking coming? But what company is that? I would be interesting to know because Peter Thiel has a big stake in a company that does things like this.
That's right.
I'd have to do some research.
And basically, it gives them an all-in-one tool for searching both masses of location data and information taken from social media. So Facebook tracks you if you use that app on your phone. It totally tracks you. I assume Alexa, Google, they all track you.
Sure, yeah.
You know, the only way to do that is take location services off your phone, which most people aren't going to do because they use it to drive around.
Right.
So
and if you check in places, you know, you need it for that. Whatever.
I don't ever do that. I don't want people to know where I am.
I have my location settings off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only have it on when I walk the earth so that I know how far I've walked. And it's just, it's only a 2-mile radius, so it's not that far. If they wanted to follow me, they can just go to my house and just, hey, where did she go? Oh, she's over there. She's a crazy walking lady. That's how I'm known in my neighborhood, as the crazy walking lady. So, and this is fun. You'll love this. ICE are going to be at the Super Bowl.
Oh, fabulous.
Looking for undocumented immigrants. Corey Lewandowski, my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
He said that, Benny, there's nowhere that you can provide a safe haven to people who are in this country illegally, not the Super Bowl, and nowhere else.
He thinks that because Bad Bunny is performing at the halftime show, that's going to draw a lot of illegal immigrants.
Wow. As if they're not going to watch it at home.
And the thing is, they're not going to care if they're illegal immigrants or not. If they're brown, and some of them are going to be like they're Puerto Rican. And because they don't know Puerto Rico is part of the United States, they're going to try and deport them back to a territory in the United States.
Bad Bunny is more American than U2 ever was.
Or The Who, or the Stones, or Shakira. I mean, it's not like we haven't had non-Americans perform at the Super Bowl.
And technically, Donald Trump is the president of Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Yeah.
Technically, he is. Yeah, Todd Starnes of Newsmax has a stat about Bad Bunny, too. He said, I'm not sure if it's Mr. or Miss Bunny.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Now we're bringing that into this?
Yep.
Oh, as if race and ethnicity wasn't enough. That's fabulous.
Because apparently he wears pink miniskirts. Who cares? Oh, my God. I'm sure he has nice legs, and they look great on him. Trump hates, he said, Bad Bunny hates Trump. He hates America. He does all of these songs in English. I'm wondering if the NFL is going to provide subtitles for the halftime show.
They might.
They don't have to.
They don't have to.
And anyway,
but if they do, I'm not going to be like, upset.
Curtis Hogue, Houck, is that how you pronounce his name? From Newsbusters, your favorite.
Yeah,
we love Newsbusters.
Oh, yeah.
Hi guys. He said, this is not a triumph of traditional Hispanic values. Bad Bunny's Super Bowl performance is not a triumph of traditional God, country, and family values that Hispanics have espoused for centuries and brought to America. Okay. That's just, okay. I'm so old I don't even know who the bunny is, but I'm happy. I look forward to watching him. Because I
think one of the funniest things is I can't understand anything he's saying. You can't understand most of the lyrics of anyone singing at the Super Bowl. Even if they're speaking English.
That's very true. It is, especially if you're there, because I did go to a Super Bowl, ZZ Top performed. And I know all their songs. But when you're there, it's not as good as when you're watching it at television because there are different camera angles and they play to the outer audience and not the stadium audience.
Right. Yeah.
And so, obviously, if you're undocumented, stay home. Watch it there.
I just think it's funny because the NFL, who are you mad at? Who are these people mad at? The NFL?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which they love them the rest of the time when they're doing their Charlie Kirk, honors, and if they're doing, not letting Colin Kaepernick, play football, they love him then. But my God, put a Puerto Rican singer up at the Super Bowl, and what are you gonna do? Boycott the NFL? No, you're not.
Yeah, it's like these people on the right have no oxygen if they're not hating on something.
True,
100%.
Yeah,
very, 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 very true. Who do we have here? Oh, Farmer, it's your birthday.
It is my birthday.
Happy birthday!
Oh my God, Chris Savoy just wished me happy birthday.
I did.
That was super cute.
Joyful and safe holiday, Dana, Sue and Rockville, Dr. Peter, and all the stuff heads who celebrate.
Yes.
Jody,
yes,
great
sir.
shows this week, not only here and your other amazing 37 podcasts. You're amazing. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir. So you're going to vote for the Democrat in the election. When is the election? Is it next week?
Yeah, the election, is on the 4th of November.
Okay.
The early voting began.
Okay.
It shuts down on November 1st, so all our peeps out there in the Commonwealth, please get out and vote.
Mm-hmm.
and do what you can to get Abigail Spanberger elected.
Amen.
So it would be important. It's imperative right now that we turn this state back to the powers of blue, and that we win New Jersey. You know, this is a really important 2025 campaign. So everybody who's listening, whatever you can do to make that happen, please help.
Well, just do it for
Bella?
Farmer for his birthday.
Please, Bella, you kill me.
Oh,
Happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you, and happy birthday to you.
I'm so stoked you're a Libra. And Mama,
yeah.
if you're listening, happy belated birthday. I hope you're enjoying your week off. Monsieur Lebois.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes. Hi.
As if it was even possible, you're even more sexy when you're putting down stiff boundaries.
Like I did yesterday with that Marine.
With the troll?
The way you dealt with Marco, that troll, yesterday was radio gold. It made me feel tingly all over.
I love this. I love that Chris actually gets attention when Steffi's not here because Stephanie lets it be spread amongst us.
He was the man.
I wasn't going to let him get away with lying on this program.
Right.
Dana, go back and listen to it. It's at 9:55 on the morning show.
Okay.
I listened to it like 3 times. It was exciting.
Wow, thank you.
Come back to Hampton Roads. We'll throw you a parade.
Okay.
All right. Life-size sculpture of you out of cheese.
I would love that.
Thank you, Farmer. Happy
All right.
birthday.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, it was epic yesterday. It was at the end of the first hour yesterday. It was epic because this guy basically was...
He said he was a Marine.
He said he was a Marine,
thank you for your
whether
service.
he is or not. We don't know. And he just was incorrect and could not answer a simple yes or no question.
I asked him if he was for or against sending troops into American cities so that they could train their weapons on American citizens, which is what Hegseth and Trump proposed.
Exactly, they
at
did.
the meeting.
It is.
Yeah. And he tried to change the subject from that. And I'm like,
he's
no,
like, I'm
you
formulating.
answer that.
He literally said, I'm formulating an answer.
Yeah.
And he tried to shush Chris, and it's like, oh, no.
Oh, boy.
No.
No.
You don't do that.
No. There is no
formulating.
Yeah, I'm formulating a simple yes or no.
Yeah.
I'm for it or I'm against it. You don't have to formulate.
Right. It was a yes or no question. All I needed was a yes or a no.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it was quite epic.
Yeah.
And we had so many people call in that were Marines, and then Malcolm Nance,
Right.
And it was very funny to hear everybody else go, yeah, that guy's full of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, guess who's trying to get back into Congress?
Oh, Madison Cawthorn.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he's trying to run for Congress from Florida. He's trying to unseat Byron
Does he
Donalds.
miss the cocaine and parties and the orgies?
I guess he does.
And the face humping?
And the face humping.
He humped his cousin's face.
He did. That was weird.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever see that video?
No.
It's weird.
It was weird.
It was weird. So he's running for Florida's 19th congressional district that Byron Donalds, because he's running for governor. So Cawthorn called Florida the heart of the MAGA movement.
Oh, boy.
Okay, he was accused, while he was in Congress, he was accused of the following. Insider trading, trying to bring a gun on a plane, not once, but twice. And then he angered the leaders by alleging his colleagues used cocaine and hosted orgies.
Well, he was probably talking about Matt Gaetz there, but, whatever. Whatevs.
And then last month, he was arrested for failing to appear in court after crashing into a Florida State Trooper's police car. And his
Wait, this was recent?
Yeah. It was in when did this article come out? It was either in August. It was in August or September.
Oh my God. Well, maybe he's like, let me see how many crimes I could commit because then I know I'll get elected to the Republican Party.
Yeah, there you
Florida.
go. There you go. And apparently in his video, the launch video, he has a lot of Charlie Kirk imagery.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
he's
boy.
He's running on the Charlie Kirk platform.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So we were talking about the ICE, going to follow us around, basically. A class action federal lawsuit filed on Tuesday argues that the Trump administration's action that aggregated personal data on hundreds of millions of Americans from various federal agencies violated privacy laws and the Constitution because it puts sensitive data at risk, which is basically what Doge was doing. They were taking all of our info and putting it in a cloud that's not secure, which is insane. None of that should be anywhere that the internet should.
Oh, it's already out. I mean,
Yeah,
it's already
out.
out there. That's why when they're like, oh, they're going to start following you while your cell phone, it's out. It's out there. Like, I don't want people to start getting crazy about this. If you have any sort of a smartphone, they know they've got some info on you.
Yeah,
and I mean, the fact that the Social Security numbers have been released
Yeah,
you know?
that's just horrifying. I mean, at this point, I'd lock your credit. That's all I
did.
can say.
I locked mine years ago when they remember that breach in Experian or something. I locked my credit long ago. Luckily, I don't need to borrow any money. Otherwise, that would be a bitch to overturn that. But no, I just it's. I mean, we'll talk about this when we get back. Oh yeah, and that. Some sad news though before we go to pay for the show. Jane Goodall died.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what a woman and the best of us. There's so many videos coming up now just about her research with the chimpanzees and how she was able to become part of their world, and the trust and the goodness and everything she believes and believes that nature is going to continue on and despite humanity. Go research. You want to change your algorithm on Instagram? Go seek out a Jane Goodall video right now and just soak it all in.
Yeah, the photographs that I saw of her over the years, with all these chimps, it's just they loved her. I mean, you could see it in their eyes. You know, you could see it in their eyes that they really they understood each other, and she was aptly named. Her last name is Goodall.
Yeah.
And so, you know, God rest her soul. She was 91, so she lived a decent, long life. But yeah, she will be very, very missed. I think she was an amazing, amazing human.
She had what is the podcast that overtook? It was the number one. Something, Call Me Daddy. What is it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Call Her Daddy.
Call Her Daddy. Yeah.
Call Her Daddy. She, believe, was on that podcast. If I'm correct, I might be wrong, but I don't think so on this one. And the interview is pretty beautiful. It's fairly recent. She just talks about how when she was first going out there, they needed funding, and the funding stopped. National Geographic, after what they had seen, agreed to continue funding her privately. And then they put her on the cover, and of course, all these male scientists were like, "They're only on there. She's only on there because of her legs. Look at that," and blah 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 blah. And Jane Goodall was like, "Listen, if these sexy legs got me the cover of National Geographic and I got my money, so be it."
Absolutely.
That's how you deal with that sexism.
Right. Yeah, you use it for good.
Absolutely.
Use what your mama gave you.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And on that note, it is 48 minutes after the hour. This portion, there's a dog.
Yes.
Hi, dog. Hi. Oh, wait.
Oh, there's a Stephanie.
There's a Stephanie. Is there a Mary?
Here, you want to sit down?
Here, Bella.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
I got a gift.
Okay.
Leftover one for Bella.
Okay.
Hi.
Scoot you over a little bit. There we go.
Hi.
Hi.
It's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
It's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Hi, kids.
Hi, Mama.
How are you?
I'm good. I can't believe Jody forgot Stephen Stills was at the party.
He was at the party.
Look at her. She's like a rock chick, and she forgot.
Uh-huh.
Can I say, Hal Sparks, the most stunning rendition of Nights in White Satin.
It was very good.
You've ever heard.
Yes.
Also, when you see Frangela do When Doves Cry, you are transformed.
Yes.
Yes.
I videoed some of that, so I might post that on your.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the primal scream of Frances going.
It's unlike my mother. She's never satisfied.
It's the primal scream that's within all of us at some point in our lives, except for you, because you're Monsieur Burnett. Oh my God, I'm tired. Okay.
That was a good party yesterday. Thank you for throwing
Thank
it.
you.
Oh my God, it was super fun. I'm exhausted. My sister is finally out of bed. We're doing a walking tour of Hollywood now.
Ooh.
Oh.
We're gonna go see her old place. There she is on the stairs.
Hi,
and then
come
we're
on
gonna
in.
go.
Come on
and
in.
then we're gonna go by CNN. She was a reporter at CNN. Did you know that? For 6 months, and then she got fired.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
that's even.
Well, CNN is no longer in that building. You know that, right?
Oh, that's right.
They moved to like Santa Clarita or something.
Oh well,
Yeah.
we're not gonna walk there.
Okay.
It's a little far. It's a little far.
Yeah.
Oh, we Mayor.
Did you hear Libby call in earlier?
I did not.
Yeah, she called in and said happy birthday.
Oh, that's very sweet.
She said
I
she'll
have
call
a
you
whole
later.
phone. You know, I have a cell phone. She could. But okay, never mind.
Oh, and
Just use the radio.
Anna Ortiz is my new best friend.
Oh my God, isn't she the greatest?
She was starstruck by Rob of Rob and Trish.
I know.
Yeah.
And then I said, "Aren't you going to eat?" She's like, "I'm an actress. We don't eat."
She's right.
So,
she is correct.
There,
Those taquitos were really good. I want those again.
you.
Do you have
Oh
any?
my
Do you have any leftovers?
No.
Oh.
I don't have leftover taquitos.
Oh,
But
okay.
I don't know. We have other stuff. I can tell I'm old because Mommy danced quite a bit yesterday,
Yes, you did.
and I can barely move today.
Whoa,
so
bless your heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did lie on my cake, and then I put my own elbow into my cake, trying to give Kathy Griffin a mini pizza. I put a elbow
saw
right
that.
through my happy 44th.
Okay. All right. Well.
So just said happy and then nothing else.
Yeah, that's what I get for the big lie.
Happy.
I ruined my own 44th birthday cake. All right, I'm leaving you guys now.
All right.
Sounds great.
Thanks.
Have fun,
Thanks.
everybody.
Yeah, we'll be here all week.
There's so many bottles of wine open. That one's a really good one. Someone brought that.
yeah.
That's open?
Party on. Yeah. Well, that's
There's
why
like a stopper.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Just
right.
put it in your trunk of your car or something, because
Yeah.
legally speaking, that's illegal
You need
to
to
drive with.
drink out on the way home. Before
Yeah.
you get there.
Yeah, easy.
Oh, God.
Drive safe.
Bye.
Bye. Have a nice time. You guys can stay with us. You want some more biscuits? Yes, you do. I'll get you some in a minute.
Yes.
I'll get you some more. Oh, look, it's... Hi, Catherine in Baltimore. You've been on hold forever. Hi.
Good morning.
Good
Happy
morning.
birthday, Stephanie. Happy birthday, Bella.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say two things. First, they are not going to broadcast Jimmy Kimmel's show in the state of Maryland.
Oh.
Now, I don't know if they're going to go after all red states and do that or what, but I found that pretty upsetting.
Oh, no. Okay.
The other thing was I have it on good authority that when Jody was 4 years old, she told people that she was married to Ray Charles.
This is
Yes,
true.
he's my first husband.
Do you remember that?
Oh, yes. I vividly remember. I remember meeting him when I was about 6. And my
your mom.
my mom told him the story as well, and so he was very sweet to me. He really, really was. I was too old for him.
He should have gotten you a ring.
I know. Should have put a ring on.
Right.
Right? After the hour here on the Stephanie Miller Show, I'm Jody Hamilton sitting in for Ms. Miller, and I've got the lovely and talented Dana Goldberg looking at me with that gorgeous
Always a
face.
pleasure to be here.
Kevin in D.C., hi, sir.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
There's that voice I love so
just-
much.
Now, I will thank you for setting them now, no matter what happens. Thank you. I just wanted to take a quick moment to say, literally, long time no see and talk to. And unfortunately, for the past few weeks, you've been chronicling, the irrationality of the other side. And the racism and sexism tells me that just like the stock market crashed, back in the day, and when Bush tanked the economy, the pain, there's no, as Frank Figluzzi, I hope I'm saying his name right, because I met him the other day at an event. Logic doesn't work with certain people.
True.
So the pain, unfortunately, we have to go through it as well, but the pain has to be bad enough before people get off their asses and vote this out again. That's how Obama got in. That's how FDR got in. And unfortunately, no matter how much logic and rational reason you do with these people, that doesn't work. They have to feel the pain before they get it. So hopefully they've had enough pain now that they'll do the right thing. assuming we have another election.
We
Amen
will.
to that.
Amen, and I think we will. And like we were talking about, the fact that they're trying to gerrymander tells me that they don't have it in the bag. Because otherwise they'd be like, whatever, we're fine. I mean, Missouri just signed into law their new maps, but there's going to be a referendum put, hopefully, on so that the people can vote like we are on November 4th here for Prop 50. Vote yes, please. Because as much as I don't like gerrymandering, we have to fight fire with fire on this. I mean, we can't just roll over because nobody else. How many California's a couple of states that have nonpartisan map drawings, right? It's California, a couple other states, not too many.
Yeah.
I wish the whole country would do that because then it would be fair. But the whole country doesn't want to do that, so there is that. This is kind of scary. Dan Goldman is concerned that because of what Trump said to the, Donald said to the generals the other day, he's worried that this could, he said he's looking at, Dan Goldman said, my view is he's looking ahead to 2028 for a made-up reason like he's talking to those generals about, because he said, well, look, we're being invaded from within, the enemy within, we've got to keep our border safe, and that's what our focus has to be. We can't possibly have an election under these circumstances is what Dan Goldman is concerned about.
Right. And that's what he's going to try and do. I mean, Trump said that after talking to his best buddy Putin. He said, Putin said, oh, I never thought of it, but that's a great idea. I mean, if we're at war, that's why they don't have the elections. I mean, never thought of that. I could do it. I have the power to do it. That's what he says now all the time. I never thought about it. I mean, I could do it. I have the power to do it, but I haven't thought about it.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Even during the Civil War, that we still had elections, and we were literally in a hot war between ourselves at that point. So the fact that I mean, can he do that legally though? I mean, because the states run the elections.
No, he can't. The states run. I don't think legally under the Constitution that he can do that. Just because Putin says it's a good idea doesn't mean it's a good idea. True,
very true. So this is an interesting thing with relationship to the entertainment industry. The Veep creator can't get Trump he can't get his Trump project funded because his backers don't want to land on the revenge list. So this is already squelching artistry because they're worried that they're going to get busted. That's just, it's maddening. Maddening.
All of this is maddening, and that's why we have to over and over and over. You've got to microdose hope. That's what Allison Gill and I always say on the Daily Beans. Microdose hope. Find those moments. Go out. Touch grass, get some fresh air. Yeah. We were not built for this, everyone, so don't try and ingest it all at once. You've got to take care of yourself.
Exactly. Amen. And on that note, thank you, Ms. Dana.
It was great to see you.
You rock, Dana.
We'll see you guys all tomorrow on The Stephanie Miller Show.